Welcome to Azure Infinitum Podcast. This is your host, Reika Fujishima. Today we have your favorite podcast host with us for the Azure Infinitum community. And today we are going to talk a lot about games. Yes, that's right. Video games, and more games. The last couple episodes, we have not really had a chance to touch on some major titles, besides some FF16 talk a couple episodes ago. But we are going to go through a whole list of stuff that we've been up to lately. And some stuff to look forward to. Some of you that might pay attention to like gaming streams or like the big press conferences. We didn't have E3 this year, but there's been a lot of things getting announced as well as stuff that's coming out that's really big already. Some major Game of the Year contenders, quite a bit of exciting things going on in the industry right now. So without further ado, let's get right into that. Let's dig right into some of the stuff we're playing, and then we might talk about some of the future stuff that's coming out that's exciting us. So bit of a just multi-games cast today, if you will. So overall, I think something that a lot of people have been into is 16, and I know that some of you here have been playing it, and I think there's some of us that haven't. I have not yet.
I haven't either.
I am going to work on that in the near future. I'm just very busy and not in a super big rush, despite being my all-time favorite franchise. But maybe we can avoid like hardcore spoilers and just kind of talk about like the game.
Yeah, for sure.
In general.
Yeah, I do not think that my wife will allow me to play until she's done. So.
How many of our hosts here have started playing it or have finished it?
Which game?
I've started it.
16.
I have started.
I don't even own it yet.
So there's what, three of you?
That sounds like two.
Yeah, two? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Sounds like Nora and I.
Have either of you finished it?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No.
Okay. Is it pretty long?
My PlayStation 5,
yeah.
I wouldn't know. My PlayStation 5 has been sitting here. I hooked it up in another room so my wife could watch me play because she's into that kind of stuff too.
Yeah,
and since I moved it back to my spot, I haven't set it up.
Gotcha.
So it's been about a week.
It is very long.
Okay. Oh, good. Oh, that's good. I'm a fan
I'm
of.
on pace for like a 50-hour playthrough.
Oh, okay. That sounds good.
It's very cheesable too, but like in a good way.
Yeah.
In a good way. Yeah. It's like stupid fun. You can make it technical and make it all Final Fantasy-ish, or you can just head stomp like Mario the whole time. It's fun.
That sounds like a single player game Yoshi P would make. Something accessible to those that just want to enjoy the story, and then also something you could like grind out if you really want to.
Yes, I would say it does have a good balance of that, as far as like serious tone, as far as like cool world and all that kind of stuff. But it's also like goofy. It's as goofy as you want to make it, really.
Yeah.
As you're playing it.
So I know a lot of people out there who might not know much about the Final Fantasy series or haven't gotten into many of the games or any. They're going to be asking the question: is it worth buying now? What do you guys say?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Like I personally, when it comes to RPGs, like I'm not big on the open world, but I do really like the illusion of an open world with a long, like a long story or something you can get at least like close to 100 hours out of. Like I don't mind playing it a long time. I just don't like the huge open worlds that are full of like emptiness.
Oh yeah.
So you like 10 a lot, don't you?
I love 10. I love 10. I love 13.
I was going to use 10 as an example as far as like how the overworld on the map is. It's you could compare it to 10. You could also compare it to like Tactics or like Octopath Traveler, something like that.
Well, I love 15 as well, but that's like open but not like humongous, So
I have a question for the
It's
16
open,
players.
but it's also not.
Yes.
what was that glitch? I'm sorry.
I have a question for the people that have played Final Fantasy 16. Is there cup noodles?
Oh,
Not that I've seen so far. I don't think
Not
it
that
would
I've
lend
seen so
itself
far.
well. Yeah, it might be though, but I haven't seen
Yeah.
it so far.
So
I
much,
haven't.
so much cup noodle in 15.
It does have a
Yeah.
Moogle in it though. I was wondering that,
I
but
like
there is a
cup noodle
Moogle.
hat.
you could
Yes.
technically play 15 3 times to get all 3 Cup of Noodles storylines or endings
I want.
for that
I
quest.
I
There's 3 different
Cup of
outcomes.
Noodles.
3 or 4 different
Oh
outcomes.
my god.
A couple noodles ending.
Cup noodles.
Yeah. For that quest, at least. Okay, so a few of us playing 16. I know within the Azure community, we've got like a whole bunch of people playing it. There's been some discussions, like in some of our channels, about just how epic those big icon fights are, and
Oh,
just
yeah.
how amazing the music is. Is like
Mhm.
that's like been a no-brainer. I think we knew that, but way before it came out. So
Yes.
Oh yeah.
The presentation's on point. Yeah, definitely.
I happened to do one thing FF16 related recently, and you guys are going to laugh at me. So I found out the other night, just sitting there scrolling through DoorDash, and I see a Final Fantasy 16 Taco Bell promotion, and I was like,
Oh,
no freaking way. And I go
I
over
wanted
there,
to do it.
and
but-
they're literally selling Ifrit tacos, like it's volcano tacos.
Oh, the volcano menu is back.
Yeah.
Nice. That's a good
And
way to bring
you
it
get
back.
a free
Yes.
one with orders of like $15 more. Totally not sponsored by DoorDash, by the way. I just got to put that out there. But I saw
Yeah.
that and I was like, I got to try this Ifrit taco. Like, so yeah.
I'm curious. Do they still have the Ifrit Taco today, or is it just for that?
Well, as of yesterday, I think it was there, so you should check it out, see if it's still on there.
I
You have to have
won't.
Dash Pass though, so like
Yeah.
it's for Dash Pass people. But I gotta say, it's just like a Yoshi P game to have the primal like used on you. Like Ifrit
Yep.
Ifrit uses volcano taco on the on you.
Yeah.
It is hot. Holy crap,
Is
is
it
it hot?
good?
Really?
Yoshi's
Yeah.
been able to give us a lot of emotional
Yeah.
damage. Now he's trying to give us.
Yeah.
Let's put
Oh,
it this way. So if you get the cravings box at Taco Bell with the Ifrit taco for free, you can also get a dip cup that has the volcano sauce in it. It's the same sauce they put on the volcano burrito and taco. And I'll just put it this way: I'm a sauce aficionado. For those that don't know, especially when it comes to
Right.
ranch dressing. Yep.
I'm something of a sausage aficionado myself.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I could not finish more than half the cup of that volcano sauce. It was that hot. So,
Really?
For me.
From a
yeah.
fast food place.
Yeah, from a fast food
I-
place. Yeah.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
like the spicy,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I may give it a shot.
If it's like the old volcano menu, like when they had like it was the volcano menu and it was lava sauce. If it's as hot as that, that's
Oh yeah,
good.
that's
It was-
that's right. I got it wrong. It's called lava sauce. Yeah, it is called
Yeah.
lava sauce. And
it's the volcano burrito or taco or whatever. but
Yes.
they use lava sauce.
yes.
Yeah.
And have you? It's like a dark orange color. Have you had the Diablo sauce?
Oh, Diablo, yeah, that's been around for a while.
This is like
It's hard.
worse than that. Like hotter, like way
Oh.
hotter.
Yeah.
So,
I know it's hotter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know
the
what's-
volcano
Diablo
menu
isn't that
is
hot.
pretty hot.
You know what's
Yeah.
crazy? I'm probably going to totally date myself here as probably being the oldest person here, but if anybody else here remembers Taco Bell in the 80s, the regular hot sauce was legit hot sauce.
yeah.
Like, it was actual hot sauce, like for sure.
Did they have it in
like-
the 90s?
Because they had taco
little bit.
sauce and then they had hot sauce.
Okay.
The
They were
fire sauce
too-
became the regular
Yeah,
hot sauce.
I remember when the fire sauce came out. Like I'm 33, so I remember that. But I kind of feel like when I was really small, maybe in the early 90s, they might have still had it, and I tried it because I tried Taco Bell when I was 3, and I remember it. I remember my first experience.
Magical taco.
It was one of my favorite fast food places. But anyway, let's go back to games. So,
Now I want Taco Bell.
we've got,
Erika, I just ate.
oh yeah, I know. I bet you a whole bunch of our listeners are gonna go order it now.
Yep.
Yeah.
There are so many better taco
Hey,
places.
At least the promo
Yeah.
code is easy to remember. It's
Yeah.
just FF16 for the promo code and Roman
Yeah.
numerals.
Apparently, you get an orchestrion roll in 16.
Yes. Oh, yes. You're right. That's what you get with the FF16 Taco Bell promotion. You get an orchestrion roll in 16.
But I'm not
What
sure-
orchestrion roll is it? Like,
All I
It's
know is
16 or 14.
No,
All I
it's
know-
it's a 16 FF6 because there's an orchestrion just like the one in 14, like the standard one you get for your house. It's in 16 as well, and you can
Yeah.
get an
Yeah.
orchestrion roll for the game.
there's a lot of little 14-isms in there.
Yes, there is.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
I haven't even
the
played it, and I've
gameplay
seen it,
itself Also
like-
feels a lot like 14 too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
some of the boss mechanics. If you've done your MSQ in 14, some of the boss mechanics will feel real familiar.
I bet.
Well,
Does it have like little telegraphs
Does it
and
have
stuff
them?
too?
yes.
Oh
yes,
my
it
god,
does.
that's
Yep.
amazing. Ah,
Does it have
gosh.
limit cut, dear?
What glitch?
Does it have limit cut?
Limit cut.
Oh God, I've had
Oh,
enough
Lord.
of limit cut memes.
Oh boy. All right.
How do you even do that in a single player?
I don't know.
AI
Um,
party members are any good?
Yeah, I mean it
Yeah.
could. Well, what about what is like an active time event? Like you have to like control them for a second to hit the right button.
Yes.
That would be like
So-
limit cut in a single player game.
They have a whole system in the game, and it's literally called the cinematic system. So it's like
Yes.
cinematic dodge,
Yeah.
cinematic
Yes.
stab, and you're just sitting there with a stupid shit-eating grin on your face. Like this is so ridiculous, but it's awesome at the same time.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's so cheesy, but in the best
Like-
way possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was doing a fight yesterday. I'm not gonna say which one for those who are trying to still go into it blind, but I was doing one yesterday, and it was just like,
Even when you open doors, it has the same mechanic. It just doesn't say cinematic door open, but that's basically what it is, though. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be out of place to have the big fanfare pop up, cinematic door open.
press L3 R3 to learn the truth.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff in that game.
Yeah.
Did you guys notice they have all the classic primals, but no Leviathan?
Dude,
You
we
know-
hate that dude.
I don't know, but I'm
I
kind
mean,
of glad that they don't like have.
They all can't make it sometimes. I mean, maybe that'll be in a
DLC?
Do you think they'll have an? Yeah, do you think they'll have an expansion for
They have been they well, okay. I heard one thing where Yoshi said it's all complete at one time, but
Yeah.
there might be something like eventually, like some kind of DLC. There's already been a patch.
Yeah.
So
So we might see real DLC where it's actual new content, not something intended from
Possibly.
the beginning.
Yeah,
I heard the
I
new
would
patch.
not- Like,
I heard the new patch gets rid of motion blur, which
yeah,
I'm a
you
big
can
fan
finally
of.
turn off your motion blur.
Thank God.
Yeah.
And my only caveat on the whole game is the performance mode caps at like 40-ish FPS,
Really?
which for my $500 PlayStation 5 in 2023, like, come on, you guys.
Yeah.
Are we really doing this? Like, I'd knock it down to 1440p. It's fine. Just give me 60.
Are we
please.
really doing this?
Yeah. Just give
Yeah.
me 60, man.
Maybe like when the PC one comes out or something. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
Possibly.
probably
Like
like
two,
50,
3 years from now.
Yeah, like
4K 60.
2025.
Yeah, right
that's
before
why I bought
PS6 we'll get it. Yeah.
it. Yep.
I saw one website, I forgot which website it was, but they were talking about how one of the reasons why they didn't do one of the possible reasons why they didn't do Leviathan in the game as one of the they have all the other classic summons from the games, summons or icons as they call them in 16 as well as 14. I think that was a Garlean term in 14 for the primals or what do you want to call them. But one of the possible
Icons.
reasons that people were talking
Yeah.
about them being Leviathan not being in the game was because Leviathan was actually a big focus in the story, the mid-story of 15. And I know 15 is 15's the number right before 16, but it's been a minute since 15 is out. But I guess for those playing in order, if you go to play 15 and you go play 16, because the primal battles or the icon battles are so big and magnificent in 16, if you think of the Leviathan battle in 15, it was like it would fit right in because it's humongous and cinematic, very cinematic. And so some of the speculation was that they already did that in 15. They don't want to do that in the next one up or something numerically. I don't know. Maybe we'll see DLC. I know what one of you just said that maybe they'll have it ongoing, like brand new content not intended from the beginning. And I think that's possible because with Stranger of Paradise, I know it's a different team, but excuse me, with Stranger of Paradise, they had envisioned something at first that was like almost completely scrapped, and then they brought out something that became the Stranger of Paradise that we know. And then when that was all over, they really thought they were done. They're like people are making fun of this game, they want to kill chaos, and that's it, right?
Must
and then
kill chaos.
there was like this amazing reception once it had been out for a minute. People were like, oh, this is actually pretty good. And so they started making like more, and then like the first DLC was pretty popular. It was like the Dragon King DLC for Bahamut, and then they had the Gilgamesh one, and people were just like eating it up, the ones that were fans of the games, and even more people discovered Stranger of Paradise. So they made one more, and then they realized, well, we got to move on now, but if you guys want a sequel to Stranger of Paradise, keep supporting it. And so what was originally intended to just be, one and done, like became 3 DLC, and it totally turned around. Well, 16's already like doing great. It doesn't need DLC to save it or anything like that. I think a lot of people already expected it to be pretty good before it was even released, but now it's confirmed, so we're like, we can all breathe a sigh of fresh air. A new FF release that not everyone in the world is hating on, like, for being linear or for, being on the back burner for 15 years and coming out subpar, with the ending just kind of, and I say this about games I love, but that is like the kind of common reception since 2009, something like that. So I think this looks really, really good for Square, and Yoshi P has done it again, I would say, even though 16's on a remake. It's a new title that is can be trusted to be really good. Some bang for your buck there. So definitely go out and play FF16 if you haven't yet. Those listening, if you can,
they definitely knew what they were doing. Yeah, talking about putting Yoshi P in charge, and Sony. I'm sure. So Sony was like, "Hey, why don't you guys make sure that you put him in charge?" I'm sure Sony had some input on that, whispered in somebody's ear. But I mean, besides the fact that this guy's already carrying them, as they kind of stand right now, it was kind of a no-brainer, and to put him in charge of it, and it paid off.
In Yoshi P, we trust.
Yep.
Yeah, and what's really neat is, remember, one of the last live letters, we got to see the new Square Enix president. And Matsuda, the guy prior, there was a moment when Yoshi was asking him about things they want to do for Endwalker. And the guy was like, well, anybody else? Like, no. And he's like, but for you, we'll do it. And so now I think the new guy, who, he's I think his wife was a FF14 player, and now he's president, and now he's like learning the game. Like she got him into the game, and now Yoshi was like, it was really funny seeing the president. Yoshi was like showing him the ropes, and but technically that's his boss, in a way. So what's funny is I think with that budding new relationship, and they seem to be getting along pretty good. That new president was also at the LA event that happened recently. There was a big gigantic launch event. Did any of you guys see that stream? It was really cool.
I didn't even know it was streamed. I thought it was just an in-person.
It was almost like watching a FanFest stream. There was like lore panels, like everything. It was like full day, like afternoon stream. And the new president guy, he was there, and he was hilarious. He opened like in the beginning of it, and he was pretty funny. Definitely still worth watching. Like it's not like old now just because the game's out. There's still a lot of stuff to learn from it. And Koji is hilarious. Yoshi was making all kinds of jokes that were funny. They had the Devil May Cry battle designer guy that worked on the game combat for 16 was there, and just a whole bunch of fun stuff to watch. So you could probably find it all in one video on YouTube. It's the LA FF16 launch event. It was pretty cool. If you ever watched a 14 FanFest, it's really similar when it comes to like the lore panels and stuff, because it's some of the same guys, so they're all pretty funny. And
you know what? Like that actually kind of makes me feel better, because the new guy, the new CEO, he comes from a cryptocurrency and like NFT background. So to hear that he's taking 14 to heart, as far as like their design, and their kind of philosophy towards their players, that's good to hear that he's interested in how Yoshi P does things.
It's really neat, and taking the time to actually play the game too. Is really, really important, I think, for understanding, what you're
definitely.
So
because they make a ton of money off their cash shop, but they do because the game itself is good. So people don't have a problem spending money on the store. It's one thing if you force those kind of things in people's faces, like from jump, but 14 kind of put it out there, and if you like the game already, you don't feel bad about buying those types of things. So I think that's how it should be handled. And then, like I said, it's good to hear that, because I knew a little something about his background, so it's good to hear that he's got an open mind and he's actually playing the game.
It's reassuring for sure.
Yes.
The other guy, Matsuda, is as quirky as he was. For those that don't know, he didn't get like as involved as I think the new guy is or is going to be. But he was quirky. He would show up at FanFest. He would cosplay too and surprise Yoshi. There was times where he put himself as a boss in Nier Automata and in Final Fantasy 15. And he was just kind of a quirky guy. What's that?
I saw him done that fight.
Yeah.
And I didn't
Yeah.
But now I have to fight him.
That's my
Yeah.
game as that's my shame as a current gamer. I have not played any of the Nier games yet,
Oh.
and I have no
Oh,
excuse.
You
I have no
to.
excuse. I know. I have a Steam Deck. Too. I
I'm
have
right there
zero
with you.
excuse.
I need to get to it at some point.
Yep,
Listen
they're right
here, you
there.
nerd.
I know.
They're right there.
Start with Automata and then do Replicant.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I will
I
get
mean,
to them.
either way.
Skip the
I
original.
will get to
Nier.
them.
I will probably ask you that again at some point when I finish my move and get settled in.
Yeah,
Nice.
for sure.
When it comes to
Okay.
Nier, I kind of have to like suggest the Replicant first, just for my personal taste, because
I mean,
there are
it's
some
story-wise-
scenes.
First in the timeline.
There's
so.
some scenes in Automata that will hit way harder if you know what happened in Replicant. So that's all.
True.
I'm saying.
It's just the Replicant
Yeah.
plays better.
But there's
is
nothing
my
from
thing. Like,
Automata that's going to show up in Replicant, because Replicant came first. So,
Okay.
but yeah, but I mean, well, actually, Drakengard came first. But
Yeah,
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it's a spin-off of Drakengard. But speaking of which, have you guys done the quest? It was a Shadowbringers weekly quest that's feels like a beast tribe, but it's not a beast tribe, or tribe, I should say. They're not beast tribes
Oh,
anymore.
you mean the one
The
with the
one
dwarves?
with the dwarves where you get to rebuild Kamra. And it's a weekly
Yeah.
Nier dwarf thing, and I forgot this whole time ever since ever since back then when it came out a couple years ago, and I was like, oh snap, I do got to rebuild Kamra. That's right, like it got destroyed
I
at the
didn't-
end of that storyline.
yeah, I did like that quest
Yeah.
for like 3 weeks and then completely forgot about it and haven't gone
Yeah.
back. I'm aware it's there. I just
Yeah.
haven't done it.
I just went back and I just finished it, and
No,
and
deal with it yourself, dwarves.
no spoilers,
Yeah.
but they talk about a couple things that kind of finalize what exactly was going down, because some people kind of felt like, well, this
Why
is
is
a
this even
really
happening?
confusing raid
Yeah.
story. Yeah, and it still is, but
I mean, it's a Yoko Taro story. So
I was gonna say
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
alright. That's what he's gonna do.
but if you know Replicant and Automata, and then you do that raid series in 14, and then you also do that post weekly quest with the dwarves, it does feel a lot more complete. That's all I'm saying. That just came to mind just now. You brought up Nier. And yeah, Nier's hard to not talk about when we start talking about
Oh,
it.
no,
Yeah,
it's
me too.
and his best girl.
Okay, so besides Final Fantasy and all the other fun stuff and tacos and Nier, how about Diablo? Who's been playing Diablo?
Oh, super
for-
good.
Oh man,
Super duper duper
No,
duper.
yes.
Before we get
I need
into
to
it,
play more still.
what's this I hear about? They added rare items to the game and then they took them out again. Like, what's going on?
They didn't take any out. The items had always been dropping.
Uh-huh.
They didn't realize that uniques weren't dropping from Hell Tides. They thought they
Okay.
were. They're like, oh shit, that's our bad. So they
Yeah.
fixed that. But it was dropping. Because of the issue. It wasn't supposed to drop super uniques, like the really crazy. Oh my god, like the Godfather or Harlequin's Crest, or like the really crazy. Oh my god, somebody even found one of those kind of uniques. But there was a chance they could, so they're like, we're temporarily stopping the drop from Hell Tides for this.
So the long story short is the fix they did for the rare drops caused
something
drops that aren't supposed to be in that loot table to be added to that loot table.
Exactly.
And so they need to figure
Yeah.
out where they created a spaghetti code connection.
Yeah, it's a temporary thing. It should be back up soon.
Yeah, because it was.
They've been really good about it.
I mean, I'm honestly
Interesting.
surprised. I'm honestly happy they did so because I know a couple people who actually worked to do the quest to get the super uniques, who then met people who got them from that drop bug and were so pissed off.
Hmm.
Yep.
I can think of a few friends that may who you may be talking about.
But yeah, no, Diablo 4 is in a good place. The devs are actually listening to people. They've had a
Yeah.
couple.
Yep.
They've had a couple of campfire streams. Where
Wow.
they just
Such
like
a breath of fresh air compared to certain other games.
yeah,
that
actually
we've
actually
talked
the same
about on this
company.
podcast.
People through like
From the same company.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, that gives
The
me a
Diablo
thought.
4 team really cares, is what it seems like, which is good.
Good.
Is this the year of new games and series that previously disappointed and now they're like good again, like with the FF?
Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it right now.
Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it. We still got Starfield coming up.
Yeah.
You got Armor Core 6 coming up
I
too.
don't trust Bethesda
Yeah.
worth a damn. I'm sorry.
I don't trust Bethesda. I trust Bethesda modders.
Yeah.
There's a difference there.
I
Okay,
trust
so-
Bethesda
so-
to put a good skeleton there.
Yeah.
So RE Starfield, I actually had the opportunity to meet a couple of the devs for it this year
Nice.
and talk with them. I cannot say everything that was said in the conversation, only because the interview will be published later this year, and I don't want to get yelled at by the people I work for.
It wasn't Matt Howard, was it?
No,
You
it
tested
was
the Howard?
no. These were like frontline developers, so like the actual people who actually code the stuff.
I actually legit want to meet God Howard one day.
But
But anyway,
from what I can
Yes,
drop
sir.
from the discussion that
Rod Howard.
we had in the green room, a lot of the guys who are working on Starfield actually do not come in-house from Bethesda's older projects.
Huh.
They have actually gotten some of the old Obsidian guys in-house for this.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I believe
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
They also brought in some people from the original No Man's Sky team for consulting.
That game's
that's-
garbage.
I mean, if anybody would know what not to do,
That was my thought exactly.
That was kind of the joke we made in the green room.
yeah,
Was they know what didn't work.
yeah. You know what? Like to me, if it's
And hey, No Man's Sky turned it around. It is a
Yeah,
solid
100%.
game now.
Yeah.
Like,
so to me, if it comes out half as good as Skyrim was when it came out, I think I'd be fine. I think
Yeah.
I'd be fine with that.
So, from
So-
again, and without saying stuff that will get me in trouble, the demo build they showed us, I would say, impressed me about as much as the original Elite Dangerous did.
Okay.
So it's
That's
a very solid. It's a very solid foundation.
Okay.
So with Starfield, like,
Now, mind you, this is also a dev demo build, not the official build.
Uh-huh.
So the official
Yeah.
build may be toned down since I have to run on
oh,
less
yeah, a lot
scaled
can
up
change
machines.
Yeah.
by the time
Yeah.
of release.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's probably on a
Yeah.
completely different branch. Yeah.
Okay, so essentially, Starfield, we're looking at like a like a Fallout or Skyrim in space.
I
Yeah.
would describe it actually a lot more like
Star Citizen a little bit.
something like Planetfall plus PlanetSide. Those who actually remember those games.
That's a deep cut.
Yeah, I know
Dude,
PlanetSide too.
PlanetSide was my jam.
So it's like a single player PlanetSide on the ground, and in space, it more reminds me of, and this is going to sound weird to those who've never heard of it. This is going to remind me of Star Warrior.
Star
but, like,
Warrior.
Actually 3-dimensional and fully rendered instead of just a bunch of dots on screen.
Okay.
Watch out.
So I've watched like a little bit of stuff. There was that Xbox showcase not too long ago, which they did that Starfield Direct right after, and I just kind of caught like bits and pieces of it. It does look pretty good. I really love games like that. I think anything with the whole like Bethesda model would be really entertaining, especially in space. And you know the whole you get your own ship thing, customize your own character thing, visit a bunch of planets thing. Sounds fun.
I've been laughing at the ship customizer demos they've shown so far.
Oh, I
Actually,
haven't seen any of that. I gotta look that up.
but my favorite. So they showed just ones that were made by like beta testers in one of the showcases, and one of them is so clearly an Alliance cruiser out of Firefly. I just fell off my chair laughing.
Yeah, it's very customizable. What you can
That's
do with
awesome,
the ships.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I said, as long as that game's like a 6 out of 10 when it comes out, I'll be fine. Because modders will bump it up to like an 8 or a 9.
Oh, 100%.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
on PC. Yeah.
Yeah. And that is the version to get it because it's been confirmed on the consoles. On the Series S and X, it'll be 30 FPS.
It's
Yep.
gonna be great if it has like the glitches of Skyrim too.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it at all.
It's Bethesda.
That's
No
Bethesda.
matter what,
Yeah.
people are going to find fun exploitable glitches.
I can't wait for the
True,
Spiffing Brit to
true.
get his hands on it.
I would say that the Skyrim glitch that made me so angry was.
Boston, if you ever watch this and you hear my voice, I am sorry. I do love you, man.
What were we saying, Glitch?
The thing that made me mad about like Skyrim is that there is one bug that I do not like. It's the one that will not allow you to complete the Nightingale's quest. That one was a pain.
Is it still in there?
Yeah.
To this day.
I have ran across it, so
They say to this very day that glitch is still in the game.
Man.
like I had to trick the NPC like over because like usually you would go, you talk to the NPC, and the NPC should go over to the lever and pull it. It doesn't do that sometimes.
Perfect. Ship it.
And it just walks away
16 times the detail.
into the nether, never to be seen again.
You know that reminds me of Fallout 3 with the Liberty quest to Lincoln's Head.
Fallout 3 is my jam. I beat that game like 4 or 5 times. And I beat all the DLC like twice.
So,
Fallout
did you
3 is my
ever
jam.
do
Fallout 3 was really good. New
Yeah,
Vegas.
excellent.
did you ever
Yeah,
do the
was really
positive karma ending for the Lincoln Memorial?
Which one was that one again?
Is that when you beat like the first? That's when you beat the first game, right? And that's before they patched the ending.
So I'm not talking about the ending of the game. One of the side quest lines is for Lincoln and his freed slaves to reclaim the Lincoln Memorial for them. Have you ever done the positive karma ending, which is you kill all the raiders, you kill the slavers, and you reclaim Lincoln's head for them?
I think
Yeah.
I did that one by default. Yeah.
Okay, so there's a fun bug I found during one of my more recent playthroughs, where if you actually walk with them when the NPCs walk to Lincoln's Memorial, they can be killed by mobs. You'll never finish the quest.
Nice.
Oh no!
I do remember that. Yeah, I remember hearing
this.
about that.
I discovered this the fun way because I thought, oh, I'll just walk
Actually
with them so I can
happened.
handle the quest. No, they got murdered by super mutants.
That
my
happens
goodness.
that happens in another quest. That happens somewhere else in the game. Too.
There are so many quests where that happens, and
Yeah.
I had to sit there and wonder who sat there and didn't turn on object immortality for these.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
set essential. It's so easy. They flag essential on and off all the time in those games, anyways.
If Fallout 3 is one of my favorite games because it introduced me to one of the best game mechanics of any game, and I feel like I have to share it to all of you in this podcast and anyone else who's
Please
listening.
don't.
There's a move in the game, and I call it the butt punch jib. So basically, you put all your points in strength and perception, so you can sneak, and you get the boxing gloves, like the robotic power gloves, like Crossbones had in Civil War, and you get those, and you get 3 perks. You get Bloody Mess, which is a perk where whenever you kill an enemy, there's a chance that they'll just jib and they'll just blow up and just be guts everywhere. There's one
that's
called
fun.
Sneak Attack, where if you hit somebody from behind or you hit somebody when they're sneaking, it's just like in Skyrim and Oblivion, there's a move like it too, where if you hit somebody when you're hidden or you're sneaking, you do critical damage. And shoot, what's the third one? I think those are only 2. So basically, you max all those out. You get the scout armor, you get or the ranger armor, which boosts your luck and all that kind of stuff. And you sneak up behind people, and you punch them in the butt and they explode.
The other way to do that.
Also helps to have bloody mess on.
Yes,
Well,
yeah.
there is another way to do that, by the way.
Power fist.
Yeah,
Power
Fist is
Power
like-
Fist,
so-
but also
you see
the
Power
Chinese stealth suit from Anchorage.
It's
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Oh, I forgot about the stealth suit. Yeah. I was using the ranger suit though. But yeah, basically the power fist, bloody mess, sneak attack, and perception. And put all your points and all that stuff. Yep, and just walk up and also when you kill somebody, it doesn't alert the other people, so you can literally just walk into a room of enemies, sneak up behind them all, and just blow them up by punching them in the butt one by one.
You know, you would think that somebody just had some mean Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Oh
People
my
just-
God.
Oh, here we go. Volcano tacos, butt punching.
Oh, here we go.
And that's
That
also
is
name.
the wrong kind of volcano.
That's also the
All
name.
the way
That's
down.
also the name of my metal band if I ever have one. It's gonna be Butt Punch Jib.
Nice.
Boy, that's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
But the
Try
name
it,
of this
it's worth it.
episode, butt punching.
Butt Punch Jib.
But listen, I've seen some shit recently. that
Like?
people, Uriel Shea reads 50 Shades of Aether.
Oh my goodness.
I'm more a fan of Emmett Selk reading "Go the fuck to sleep."
To be fair, that one's amazing.
Both of them are really good.
Almost as good as that meme you posted the other day. We should post that someplace so people can see it. You should put it
Oh
on the
my
website,
God.
Reika.
Which one is that?
It's ridiculous. I can't even describe it.
What meme is
I'm
this?
trying to remember
Where am
what
I
the
looking
fuck?
for this?
Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Hold on.
Oh boy.
But anyway, continue. I'll see if I can find it in the background here.
I'm just trying to remember the hell did I post it.
Let's see.
Did I send it directly to you or did I post it somewhere?
You posted it somewhere. I think it's in the memes folder, in the memes channel. I don't remember where it's at.
I've been playing a lot of retro games lately, so I have like no commentary on newer games.
Hey, that's okay.
What you been
Same
playing?
here, actually.
I've been playing Atelier Verona Plus.
Ooh,
What?
very nice.
Oh,
Tell
that's
you,
like a...
talk about an JRPG saga.
Yeah.
Right.
Very nice,
That
very
game
nice.
is so comfortable and so cute that I could not resist playing it.
One of these days I'll try them.
I actually found out about the Atelier series by the Eska and Logi Atelier
Yeah?
series.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
that's like the Dusk series, the Dusk trilogy that started on
the
PS3.
Dusk,
Yeah, yeah. That
yeah.
that came after the Arlen trilogy. I'm an Atelier fan myself. I've been since Iris on the PS2, the Iris trilogy. What's really interesting was way back when they started out as just kind of like item management crafting games on the PS1, only in Japan, and then until eventually Atelier Iris 1 Eternal Mana came out here in the West. And when they did, they were like, well, let's make this more into an RPG. So it became an RPG, a lot more of an RPG than an item crafting game for a bit. And then with the Arlen series, starting with Verona, then they went back to its roots as being mostly crafting with slight RPG mechanics. But here's the funny part. Verona was remade like 4 or 5 times. It's crazy how many times they remade that game. That when they pushed it out, they were rushing it out to try to be a PS3, not a launch title, but what happened around 2008, where they added trophies to PlayStation 3, and then they kind of redid the brand a bit, and like the cases changed and everything. So they pushed it out to try to get it out in that era. It's like, look, an Atelier game with trophies, and the character models were like really simple, and so they redid the game again with the plus version, which usually there's always a plus. They've been doing that since the very beginning, like back in the 90s. Yeah. But with the plus one, they came out with like better character sprites. But what's really funny is there's also a Verona on DS. There was a Verona on like mobile, and then they redid it again with the DX one, the director's cut Verona.
I'm
So
doing the plus one that's
nice. On
PlayStation.
PS3.
The PlayStation Plus.
Oh, PS Plus. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Or you can play
probably a
PS3.
port of
Yeah.
the PS.
So it's a
yeah,
port of the PS3
probably
version.
the
Yeah.
PS3.
Because the PS3 version is the only plus they made. There was a. Wait, nope. There was a Vita one. Yeah, it came out on the Vita first in Japan.
Oh my god, the Vita.
Yeah. It came out on the Vita first in Japan. That's where I have my Totori Plus, the sequel to Rona. I have Totori Plus on the Vita, and then I have Meridu and Rona as well. And then I just got the Dusk trilogy recently.
If you do like the PlayStation Plus, I don't know what level, but there's a bunch of the Atelier games.
It's probably premium because they usually
probably.
PlayStation 3.
I don't think there are any that are on extra. Extra is the tier I have. It doesn't get any of the streaming stuff, but that's fine.
Fun part is a lot of those games are in trilogies, and they have so they all feature a major alchemist, and it's always a main heroine that's an alchemist, sometimes joined by some other supporting main characters. There's a couple games where it featured like 2 of them in one, but with most of them, they're all in like the same land or continent for every 3 games. So there's like Arlen, Dusk, the Iris ones, such so and so. There's the new Ryza trilogy that came out, Ryza, and then a couple other ones, the mysterious ones too. Because there's a whole bunch that came out recently. There was one that actually went back to Arlen. It was a 4th Arlen game after Meridu. But the funny thing was, Verona in one of the games, she gets like de-aged, like to like a child, like something happens, and I got the chance to talk to like somebody that had worked on the game, and they said the lowly Verona was their favorite, was the staff's favorite version of her, because she'd been remade so many times.
She's so dumb. I love her.
Verona is pretty funny. Yeah, her personality is really funny.
She's like, I'm dumb. No, you're not dumb, but I'm dumb.
Do you remember the cabbage part at the end?
I haven't gotten to the cabbage festival yet.
Okay.
I'm about to do the cabbage festival
Yeah,
part.
it's you're gonna laugh. It's really funny. That's
The
really
main
funny.
character in all of those games is very likable. Like, I don't
Yeah.
think there's been a main character in that series. I haven't played all the games, so I can't say for sure. But of
Yeah.
like the 5 or 6 I've played, every single time the main character's been like, okay, I'll
I
fucks with
haven't-
this. Like,
Yeah,
The
so
one was the
far.
first one I played.
Oh, it
however,
was?
I
Oh, yeah, that
watched
was your entry, huh?
I watched the Eska anime, and I adore Eska.
Yeah.
She is so full of energy. And I've had some like blast from the past like voices that are familiar to me from like the game, because I'm like, that's Izzy from Digimon.
Oh,
then,
yeah, the voice acting dubs.
Me and my chat were like laughing about like the anime tropes and then they're like, there's probably going to be a sassy Lily character, and then there appears the sassy Lily character that's a childhood friend. And she has the voice of Konata from Lucky Star.
Oh, in English or Japanese?
In English.
In English. You know what happened around, what was it, 2015 and up, I think? The Atelier games no longer have an English dub. So they were because they're pushing them out so fast. There's like one a year now. They're like as fast or faster than Assassin's Creed now. So they're like
That's
pumping
impressive.
those out. Yeah. And I don't know about the latest release, but they stopped doing English dubs for some of their guest games.
I really adore their games. They're very fun, very likable.
No, they're fun. Yeah, they're if you want an RPG that just kind of makes you feel warm inside and just very soft and not like super, I don't know, super exhausting after a while. Not a whole lot of grinding,
Yeah.
Especially if you like crafting. Definitely if you like crafting.
Maybe that's why.
The remake of one, the very first one, Atelier Mary, has a remake coming out soon on multi consoles like PS4, PS5, PC, Switch. Yeah.
I will have to admit that there is one part that I'm like I'm trying to like be the completionist and like do all these like all the basically platinum the game.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because if you do, you get more cutscenes.
I'm stuck on like one part to the point that I'm actually replaying through the game again.
Well, it doesn't take that
where
long.
I was again, because it's like the part where you had to do like a bunch of bombing of like this explore the mines.
Oh, right. And you have to use the bombs. Yeah.
Yeah, and like there's this one bomb that I could not get like past. It was like this just one place. Like the Fallen Rock Cavern part where you had
I think I know what you're
like,
talking about, because if you don't grind a whole lot, it sets you back a bit when you get to the mines.
I was like, no.
Yeah. The mines is like this like dangerous place for some reason. Like everywhere else is fine.
I always scream.
It's always the mines.
They dug too greedy and too deep.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, with some of those games though, like there's requirements for your crafting, and the Arlen games actually have a time system, so it can actually freak you out and make you think that like you're gonna run out of time, especially in Totori. In Totori, there's like no way to know. You just kind of have to like wing it, and then if the game ends, and you just start over trying to do better. But one of my favorite characters, I don't know about the game itself, but one of my favorite characters is Totori, which goes with Rona. And when you get to the third game, they're all three in it. They do that with a lot of the Atelier games. There's like you go through the first one, second one, and then by the third one, all the characters from that trilogy are together usually. But yeah, it's a great series. Definitely an RPG classic. Goes way back. Goes really far back, and a lot of those games have a lot of like people replay them a lot. They port them, make director's cuts, etc.
Yeah, they're fun games, and they're funny games on top.
Yeah,
of that.
they are. Yeah, barrel. the barrel meme.
For every anime cliche joke trope, play the Atelier games. Like,
yeah, well, you want to talk about nice art too, like really nice art. I don't know if you know the artist Kishida Mel, but Kishida Mel did art for the Arlen series for Rona, Totori, and Meru, and it is nice. There's some really nice art books out there you can buy.
I'll have to check that out.
They're really nice. They're really nice.
Speaking of older games that have gotten remakes, Harvest Moon, now Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life.
Wonderful Life. Yeah, I was surprised.
That's a classic.
I saw the graphical of somebody playing it, and it looks so good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, if we're going down the road of remake,
I love them.
Persona 3.
Persona
Yes.
3 remake.
Persona
That's a
3
good
Reload.
point.
Star Ocean.
Yeah.
Star Ocean. That's what I was going for.
That was a
yeah.
big
Star Ocean's getting a
surprise.
remake?
RPG.
Star Ocean
Which
2.
one?
Star Ocean
2?
2.
One
yeah.
and two.
Yeah, it's
on
getting
Switch.
a 2D, 3D like remaster remake thing. It's really nice.
Yeah.
looking.
My
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
Here's a question though about something that I was thinking about for the remake of Super Mario RPG. Are they going to have that one secret boss?
That's
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Culex. Yeah,
Helix?
very good thought there.
I think they almost have to.
Considering the fact that Square and like Mario and Nintendo are on really good terms, probably.
Yeah.
I can't see
would
them
assume-
taking that out, especially since it wasn't part of a special edition like FES of Persona. Because there's been a lot of questions about is that going to make it in, and no, they've already answered it's not, but it could be DLC. Who knows?
I know that there's some people, like I've seen in rants online about like people want, like some people wanting an F-Zero game again.
Oh, it's been
Oh,
forever. Yeah,
F-Zero.
it's been
The
forever.
last,
don't
the
Yeah,
last time we
please.
had an F-Zero game was
Yeah.
like the last two came out
GameCube.
only in arcades.
GameCube. Yeah,
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, the
Oh,
last
arcades,
two
yeah.
F-Zero games
Yeah.
have
Arcade.
only been in arcades.
the arcade and then GameCube before that. Like,
Mhm.
I'm wondering if they would be willing to like do like a remake or at least like restart the series. But at the same
Yeah.
time, I think Mario Kart's kind of killed it.
I mean,
because-
F-Zero had an anime like a while back, but as far as the arcade goes, I mean, who lives near an arcade that has an F-Zero game?
I guess if you lived in Roland Heights, Arcade Infinity probably has one. Like
I haven't checked-
maybe
I haven't
your
checked
local
out
round
Arcade.
one if you've got a nice round one.
Actually,
Yeah.
fun fact: I live across the street from a place called Another Castle. It's here in Edmonds,
Oh.
Washington, and they have an
I
arcade
know
on one
that
side
place.
and a video game. I used to work there before I worked at Facebook. I worked there for about 2 months.
Okay.
Yeah, but they have an F-Zero arcade machine, and they have the Mario Kart one, but they have two
Nice.
two
Oh.
stations. Yep,
That's cool. Okay.
I
it's
didn't
a
know
it's a
they had-
barcade on one side
Nice.
of it.
Okay.
Nice.
I didn't know they had a Luigi's Mansion
Arcade game?
machine
Yeah.
until
Yeah.
my cousin, who was like 5 at the time, wanted to eat at Chuck E. Cheese. And so we all stopped at Chuck E. Cheese, and she's like, "Play this game with me," and I'm like, "Okay." So we played the arcade version of Luigi's Mansion.
Nice.
I played
Very
that
nice.
at Dave & Buster's around the time it came out. Dave & Buster's made a big deal of going.
We
got
have a Dave and
Luigi's
Buster's up here
Mansion."
now.
Yeah.
We have a Dave and Buster's up here in Washington now, and my kids lost their minds in there.
Yeah,
It was pretty cool.
it's a Chuck E. Cheese where I can get drunk. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's Chuck E. Cheese for
Yes.
Chuck E. Cheese for adults.
I've never.
I mean,
I've
kids
never
could be there too, but like it's more fun for us as opposed to like a Chuck E. Cheese where it's like mediocre pizza and
Just like
really
just like Disney
scratched
World and
up
Disneyland.
pictures, like
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like Disney World and Disneyland. It's way better as an adult.
hmm.
You guys know how serious Japan is about arcades? Like
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
probably the
Yeah.
most insane arcades in the world because
Yeah.
I mean some of them you have like a membership card that even has like your save data on it, and you go
Oh,
back to
wow.
some of these
Wow.
games and you activate your save because for example one of Square's games is Lord of Vermilion, and in Lord of Vermilion you actually have a save card and you come back and
Yeah.
work on your file at the arcade and your membership gives you like instead of having coins for every so many lives or whatever, it's just like the game continues to let you play it until your hours on your daily membership is up or something like that. You get to go in for so many hours based on what subscription you pay for. So it's like, I say you go to Japan, you go to one of those arcades, you're like, I want the membership that lets me have 5 hours straight. Then you pay for that membership, and your card, you have like a card for that and a card for your different saved games, like an actual memory card that's a card in your wallet. It's
Yeah.
really
Oh,
really
that's
insane.
wild.
Initial
Yeah.
D used to do the data card thing.
Yep.
Yeah, like there's a
And the
Dragon
first-
Ball one.
And the Mario Kart game, too.
There's a Digimon one like that too.
Yeah, one of the F-Zeros did it.
Yep. Yeah, the F-Zero arcade did it. Yep.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah,
neat. Yeah,
one of the
Well,
first
let's
things I
look at
remember.
arcades in Japan.
arcades in Japan are crazy. It's just
Which
Everything in
which I'm
Japan
a-
is crazy.
Which is kind of crazy because I've fallen into the rabbit hole of reading rom-com manga. So probably like the last 2 months I've read like a bunch of rom-com, and they're always like,
You've
"Let's
seen
go to an
a
arcade."
lot of
Yeah,
arcades.
yeah.
You've
Arcades
seen a
are
lot of arcades,
very
haven't
much
you?
a thing there, and
Yep.
I mean, if that's the way to make an arcade like really interesting, like I'm all for it. I wish they did that more here. Like we have these really cool like hip, barcades, like you're saying. Like, we have a place
yes.
here in Sac called Coin Op. That's pretty cool.
If you ever come up here, we're going to another castle because it's right
Yeah.
across the street from me.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like they're nice and relaxing, but like man, they get hardcore in Japan.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what was it? Was it Yu Yu Hakusho when the first season, when he first came back to Earth, he had to hide from him, so he just stuck himself in an arcade all day?
Yep.
Yeah, they're very popular there. Even today, it's not like here. You say arcade to somebody that doesn't know about some of the ones that are out here in the West.
Oh my god!
And most people are like, "Oh, that's from a long time ago. Those still exist, And then like
There are
they're out
3
there.
arcades here in Jersey.
They're out
Yeah.
there, but nothing beats
We've
Japan.
got one downtown that's called Cidercade, but
Yeah.
I mean, their whole thing is what it says on the tin: arcade games and hard cider.
Well, we have some places here that actually like will import Japanese arcade machines, and so you get that
Oh, yeah.
experience that's kind
Bless
of like
their soul.
there. Yeah,
People
like-
who do that are doing the Lord's work.
Oh my
for real.
god, it's amazing. Well, we have like a group of people like within our kind of like our West Coast, mostly Cali like convention circuit that will just bring tons of games.
Yeah.
There's
like 18 dudes who have DDR
Here-
machines.
here's
there's
a funny
always at
thing.
least 3 or 4 DDR
Yeah.
machines in any arcade at a convention in Cali.
Let me tell you something funny about that. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on the podcast or not, because we've talked about cons a few times. And shout out to these guys when I name them here in a second. There's this one guy. Well, actually, it's a group, but one guy was a really, really super like big part of it, and they decided to create this like, I don't know, they drive like these big trucks with like as many people that want to join that join in and donate like tons of machines, like arcade machines, old CRT TVs, old consoles, everything they can get, and they kind of just make like a road trip to each con during like seasons where cons are like really back to back throughout the state or the West Coast, and they named their business The Big Anime Game Room, and
Nice.
and that is abbreviated as Teabagger.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and so
Hell yeah.
so many of our events, it says just like the Big Anime Game Room, featured by Teabagger.
Teabagger,
And it was pretty awesome for a long time. And then some of them moved on or grew apart. Some of them actually got robbed, so that kind of sucked. But then like tons of people in the community would come together and donate like way more. So eventually, when we were at like FanimeCon, for example, down in San Jose, at the time about 10 years ago, it was getting about 42,000 people in attendance over the course of about 4 days, 3-4 days. So good medium size or of the larger variety medium cons. But they have these big exhibit halls, and the exhibit halls, each hall is probably about the size of a regular Walmart. It's huge, and these guys, the Teabagger guys, would fill at least 3/4 of it with their games, like just tons. Yeah, imagine an empty Walmart just full of consoles, CRTs, PC setups, even tabletop areas that are massive. Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic games going on, like all just tons of games, and then arcade machines in the back from Japan, like super awesome. But
See, it's wild hearing you say 42 is not like the top end big con.
no,
'cause,
it's not. It's not because
It's
that same
definitely
event gets
not.
around 76K like today.
I mean, the
And
biggest.
it's still not a big one for around here.
Yeah, no.
Like,
Yeah, the
No,
biggest
big is like
conventions-
250K.
Jeez,
Yeah.
the biggest like the scene Glitch and I run in. So My Little Pony conventions,
Mhm.
like 1,000 plus is considered a good size.
Well, I
Even
mean,
at
yeah.
its biggest, I think BronyCon was only like 10.
yeah, but that's more of a niche audience than just like general nerd convention.
Yeah. Even
Yeah,
DEF CON, I
yeah.
think, is only pulled 30, which that's the biggest one I ever go to.
Well, yeah, but DEF CON is also again more of like a niche hobby thing than like actually like, hey, you like comic books a little bit, go to Comic-Con. hey, you like anime
Yeah.
a little bit? Go to Anime Expo.
It's a fair
Like,
point. I mean, when something is labeled as an anime con, that covers such a wide variety
Yeah.
of things, and the people that don't even aren't even into a lot of anime that just show up to party too, like they show up there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so,
100%.
that's
I
it's
love
a
anime, but
wide
I'm also
breadth
that guy,
compared to
so.
like maybe a BronyCon, but
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, well, like we said, 1,000. That was actually one of our early events that we started, our local event here up in Sac. Started out way back at the Sunrise Mall here in Citrus Heights, right outside of Sacramento, little suburb area, and we just kind of had this thing where we had kiosks with vendors in the mall, and it grew to this this kind of small, maybe 500 to 800 man group, and it stayed around 1,000 to 8,000 for almost 10 years until we got the Sacramento Convention Center. Then it just started like exploding, and then we started doing. It's one of the only cons I know of that does 2 or 3 a year, like per season almost. So now it's bi-yearly. It's twice a year.
Yeah, the only things I can think of that do that are like PAX, because they do East and West.
Yes, yeah. PAX
And,
had like 4 different
and
ones going on
Comic-Con.
at one time.
And Comic-Con,
Yeah.
which does like San Diego. and
San
New
Diego,
York.
and then I guess WonderCon's the same company, but
Well, there was just straight up the New York City Comic-Con too.
yeah. New York Comic Con and San Diego Comic Con are not related.
Oh, I thought they were.
They're not related. No, it's a common misconception, but they're not completely related.
Okay, I think at one point they were more closely related than they are.
They might have
today.
been at one point.
They were using the exact same logo for a number of years.
Yes, that's true. That is true. They were still doing that when we went there back when the new Tomb Raider reboot came out on. It's not new now. On back when Crystal Dynamics became a thing and bought it.
Oh,
and,
I love those Tomb Raider games, by the way.
Crystal Dynamics.
Yeah, Crystal
All
Dynamics
three of
happened.
those games are really
And
good.
a friend of mine was invited to go work there, and then he decided not to work there, and he went to Rooster Teeth.
Good idea.
And then he developed the popular Ruby series. But when he went going to go to Crystal Dynamics, we got a press gig, and for the New York show. And it was really awesome because it was right at the time that Square Enix was investing into like Hitman and Deus Ex and all that.
I keep forgetting that Hitman's a Square Enix game.
Was.
Right?
Squeenix
Yeah, was
bought a lot
now.
of titles.
Was.
A lot of titles.
They
from,
did
like,
some bizarre stuff. Like they published Outriders.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they basically went, hey, let's make a bunch of money off of Western devs.
Oh yeah,
Riders.
yeah. Since around 2009, maybe 2010, they've been really trying to break into the Western market. And I think a few months back, maybe a year ago, they said that now we just want to focus on our main stuff here in Japan. But then a couple months later after that, they go, oh well, doing stuff just for Japan is not profitable. So it's like, make up your mind.
I have a weird soft spot / history with Crystal Dynamics because I had a 3DO. So Gex. And, a couple other games were Crystal Dynamics games, and like that's the first I ever heard of them. So like whenever I think that, I think Gex.
Yeah.
You want to know what I have in a box somewhere?
What's
I still have a publisher's copy, like a pre-release copy, still in the shrink wrap of Gex 64.
Gex?
For
Gex
3DO.
No, the Gex 64.
The 64 one.
Gex 64.
Oh man.
Yeah.
The James Bond wizard.
I'm so mad.
It was wasn't Gex also on the Saturn?
Yes. But so
Eventually,
my granddad, among his many other bizarre things he did as a reporter, was briefly on ABC's entertainment release panel. So he would get from like Nintendo, from Sony, briefly from Microsoft, like all their pre-release and promo material game stuff.
Right.
And he, of course, was a 60-something-year-old man who grew up with one friend being Billy Crystal, the other friend being Muhammad Ali. So he completely did not play video games whatsoever.
Yeah,
so
he grew up with like erector sets and whatnot.
Oh no! This is a man who grew up playing with typewriters and went on to become a man who wrote 40+ books and became one of the most well-known reporters in New York City for a while.
Nice.
But no, so he would just throw them at my youngest uncle and me, like, I don't know what this is. Here, play with it. And then he'd come and ask us, okay, how did it play? And then he'd write his article based on what we thought of the game.
Nice.
Nice.
And then like now you watch documentaries about it and you're like, oh, I played the prototype of that.
Or I saw like the thing that was never released that then became this.
Yeah. Nice.
I
Which is,
felt that way about a lot
weird
of stuff with
stuff.
like Sega Channel. Not a lot of people had Sega
So
Channel,
far ahead of its time.
but there were a lot of games that never came out in the US that you could play on Sega Channel. And there were a couple of games that just straight up never came out anywhere except for Sega Channel.
Yeah.
They're like, we have this almost completed beta of a game. We're not going to actually produce any copies of it. Fuck it, put it on Sega Channel.
It's the same thing with the DS store that just shut down.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. The
yeah.
DSi store and the 3DS store, yeah.
That made me sad.
Terrible,
Yeah.
terrible.
The completionist went through and bought all the stuff that was on there, though.
Yeah,
It was like
I was
$40,000
doing that
or
too
something
for
like
a bit. I was working on the Theaterism games because
$27,000 to buy everything on the store.
Good
I thought
lord.
it was more than that, but I knew it was a significant amount.
yeah, I could not buy all the DLC for all the games I enjoy on it. I was just like, well, I don't want all these I want a complete copy of Theaterism, Curtain Call on there. That's the FF Square Enix series music rhythm game.
Yeah. So,
And then
Isn't
right when
that
I do that, they come out with a new Theaterism on PS4, and I was like, oh my god. Because at the time it was the only one. It's the only time in Square Enix history that they actually made a rhythm game. And not just for FF. There was like a lot of other things. Bravely Default, Mana series,
Oh,
Chrono
Bravely
Trigger,
Default.
Chrono Trigger.
I was talking about Bravely Default earlier today.
Yeah, I know. It's that gets me riled up because I love that series so much. Well, we were talking about a lot of games. So,
Yeah.
Glitch, you said you're playing older games lately.
Yeah.
Same here. I just really haven't been hacking away at my latest entries in my backlog. I've been trying to get finished with some stuff I've been going on for a while now. I use a site that's really cool called backloggery.com.
Yes.
And
yes,
I know there's a
Backloggery is
couple people that
amazing.
might know of that site, but it's still really underrated. And there's no way to automate it. You do have to manually enter your progress, trophies, and whatever else. But what's really neat is it's kind of like a little blog where you can just list what you're playing on what consoles. You can name stuff how you want to name it, or however you want to describe where you're at progress wise. But what's really neat is it actually gives you a graph showing what percentage of your collection you've finished, and if you have like a master run, whatever you consider a master run, and then if it's completed or just beaten, and so it for some people it does actually help them catch up on their backlog. But when your backlog is like 2,000 games long,
Yeah.
you pretty much always stay in the backlog form. But what's really funny is there's a villain on the site named Backlog, and it looks like Backlag, and he's like this little bad guy, kind of almost looks like an evil Goomba from Mario, and the more games you beat, the more Backlag is defeated. And it's kind of funny because your profile gets status effects. Like if you get too many games going at once, you get poisoned, things like that. It's pretty funny and quirky, and you totally customize profiles and stuff. Also, not sponsored by Backloggery whatsoever, but just something that I enjoy using now and then to kind of keep up on just at least like the latest 10 games that I'm playing. But I'm still working on FF4 After Years. Just
that's a
doing a
kind
full
of deep cut.
100% playthrough on that means everybody's challenge dungeon grinded like 20 times after you beat their story.
Yep.
And then the final place I read is like humongous. And then also leveling all the jobs in FF5 at the same time, doing 100% on After Years is just taking a million years. So
Yeah.
Part of my backlog is actually completing all of the relics in Final Fantasy XIV.
Oh my
nice.
god.
Nice.
Yeah, no, glitchy is just
We'll see you in
signed up for
15,
pain.
20
Well,
years.
The older the game gets, the easier some of that gets too, because some of the content gets nuked or becomes a little easier or manageable.
Yeah.
She's
Today
thinking
there are
about the
things you
ARR
can
ones too.
you could just flat out buy like some of the Heavensward mats with like tomes, But yeah, doing two really long things at one time in older FF games, and then So yeah, still working on my Kingdom Hearts progression. So
Yeah.
that hasn't moved much since the last time I mentioned, but I'm still in Recoded because God, the quests in that game. And yeah, that's me. But I am definitely looking forward to a lot of the stuff that's been announced lately. And
Kingdom Hearts 4.
yes, that's another good reason to get a PS5.
Exactly.
Yeah, 'cause we know how that's gonna go. It's gonna release on
gonna come out on
PS5,
the
and then
PS6.
it's not gonna be out on PC for like 2 years after that. You know.
Yep.
Oh no, they're gonna say it's
So-
gonna come out on the PS5. It's gonna
PS
come out on the PS6.
PS6
I have bought
at the
multiple
same time as
consoles
PC.
to get. I bought multiple
probably.
consoles to get Kingdom
I-
Hearts 3. Like,
Yeah.
let's be
Kingdom
real.
Hearts 3 on the Xbox, and I found I really enjoy my Xbox Keyblade.
Oh,
It's
nice.
really
Yeah,
cool looking.
yeah, those are nice.
I
But yeah,
bought a PS3 for Kingdom Hearts 3, and then eventually had to buy a PS4 for Kingdom
oh
Hearts.
yeah, it was originally something we expected to be on PS3. Same with 15 versus 13.
Persona 5.
Yeah, I really.
Thankfully,
Persona 5, yeah.
they still released
Yeah.
the PS3
They
version
did.
of that.
They did, yeah.
I held out forever for Persona 5. Finally came to PC.
Yeah, I got it on PS5 literally the day they announced
Yeah.
it was coming to PC. Like, I downloaded it, I load up to see, okay, is there anything I need to know before I start? And it's like, oh, by the way, coming out on PC. Like,
Well,
damn it.
you know,
Finally.
waiting on a Persona game is actually not a horrible idea because there's
There's
always a
usually a
special
better version
version like
later,
Royal
yeah.
or Golden or FES or whatever. So there's
Um,
usually a better version that comes out a couple years later. It's one of the series that does that.
Yep.
I'm still working
Yeah.
on my Persona 4 Golden Platinum.
You played through that game
Working on
so
My
many
P5R
times.
initial playthrough. Speaking of backlogs.
I have gone through this game 6 times already.
I love Persona 5 is probably the most overall fun to play of the series. It's not my favorite. 3 gets my favorite.
I've been
but 5
chipping
is,
away
like,
at it.
the best overall of like just hands down Persona games. Unless you're one of those freaks like me who likes Persona 1 and 2, in which case
I have not played 1 and 2 yet.
Innocent Sin is the best.
I want to play 1 and 2, but 3 is my favorite.
I can't wait for the HD version of Shin Megami Tensei 5. That's gonna be...
Nice.
I need to
Still
finish
trying
that
to
game you got me.
find-
Yeah, you do.
I'm still
I need to get
debating
my
whether or
backlog
not
under
to buy a
control.
50 I'm debating on whether or not to buy a 50-foot HDMI cord so I can play PS5 games.
I mean, eventually you'll probably want one if you want to stream 16, because
That's a
I'm not
long
moving
cord.
the PS5.
Yeah, she's not moving the PlayStation 5 and it's on her desk. So, like, we're about 50 feet apart.
Maybe a big
Persona-
magnifying glass? I don't know.
Oh my god.
No, like, I need the...
All I'm imagining is
wire
Wally
to
now.
my computer.
I mean...
I want to play more Paper... I wish there was, like, a remake of the Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door.
Oh my
The
god,
first one
I
on
hope
the
that's
GameCube.
next.
That game was-
There's
I
a
hope
game
that's
no,
next.
cut.
sorry, that was the second one.
Yeah,
The
there's a
first one-
deep
first
cut.
one.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
first one is just Paper Mario.
Yeah.
That was
Where's the
on
last time you heard Paper Mario mentioned in any form?
Yeah, also a good game.
Me the other day.
You know what
I
though?
talk about Paper Mario a lot.
Speaking of Paper Mario and Paper Mario, or not Paper Mario RPG, Mario RPG, that we're talking about earlier, getting a remake. The people who made Super Mario RPG went on to make the Mario and Luigi RPG series, like
Yeah.
Superstar Saga,
Superstar
Dream
Saga,
Team,
yeah, in
Yeah.
Bowser's Inside Story.
yeah, all those.
Yeah.
They were ex Square Enix devs, and so they went from they went through all of those, and Paper Mario was also one of their things too. It was kind of curious to me when I saw Super Mario RPG get announced because not that long ago that group that I think the last one they made was the Superstar Saga remaster on 3DS. That whole studio got disbanded, and they are not making any more. And so I was like, hoping, seeing the Super Mario RPG remaster, that there was some hope for more just any Mario RPG games. They're all really fun. Like they're all a lot of fun.
I've got to admit that I love... I have not played the Super Mario RPG. However, I have played... I'm in the middle of playing Super Mario... like Paper Mario 1. I have beaten Paper Mario 2.
Mm-hmm.
I played a little bit of Sticker Star, and then there's like, I like the Superstar Saga.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah,
one has to be
that's one of my
probably-
favorites. Yeah.
Like what they're doing to what they did to Bowser at the very beginning of the first one. He gets just like unceremoniously shot out of a cannon. It is so funny.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I will say I have loved pretty much all of the Super Mario RPGs that have come after Super Mario RPG, but Super Mario RPG is still the best.
It is really good. Really, really polished.
It's hard to top that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep. All right. Well,
Danger.
we are over the hour. Do we want to fit in a little bit more stuff that's upcoming that we're looking forward to?
Shout out to Armor Core 6.
Armored Core 6.
Yep.
Shout out to
Yes.
Metaphor Refantazio, which
yes,
looks like
that menu
dope.
is drip in cards.
Yeah.
Like Persona
Yeah.
6.
Just oh my
it basically
God.
is. It basically
Yeah.
is Persona 6.
It's high fantasy.
For now, at
Persona.
least, until there is a Persona 6.
Yeah.
It's basically high fantasy Persona. It looks bomb as hell.
It
Check
does
Shout
out.
out
look really
to
insane.
Persona 3 Reload.
Yup.
Shout out to there's this game on Steam. Hang on, let me see if I can find the name. There's a game on Steam, and it pretty much looks like the game I always wanted to make. It's like it's literally like a life simulator. I've been looking forward to what was that game they showed like 4 or 5 years ago, like actually 6 years ago at this point. It was called Damville. And basically, it was like anamorphic humans, and you could like do whatever you wanted to in that game. Well, somebody made like a more like toned down version of it. It kind of looks like Earthbound, but you get to like just simulate like an entire like existence in this world. I forgot what
Oh,
it's called.
wow.
And it looks really basic, but you could do a lot of cool stuff in it. But anyway,
Like,
that one, whatever it's called.
We got the new Ratchet and Clank coming out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was about to mention that one.
And,
We have Pikmin 4.
The last one will be on the they announced on PC, and I can't wait to play it on Steam Deck after they said
Oh,
it can only
nice.
run on the PS5's hard drive.
Right.
There's a game.
Oh, wait.
The
Baldur's Gate 3.
Cobra Access
Baldur's
and-
Gate
Yes,
3,
yes, Baldur's Gate
yes.
3. Yeah.
I need that, honestly.
We've been waiting on that game forever.
There's a game that I've been keeping my eye out for. It's like it has not been released yet, and there's no release date for it yet because it's in development hell. It's
game?
called Nirvana, Cyberpunk Bartender Action.
Oh,
Nice.
I think I've heard something about that.
Is that
I-
any relation to the Valhalla one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, okay, I thought so.
same like people.
it's basically them doing like a full ass game.
Gotcha.
And honestly, I loved Valhalla, so I'm really looking forward to that one. If and when it eventually comes out, I have been like staring it down in my wish list for like God knows how long at this point. I hope that we can play it someday. I noticed that they made a new Katamari remake very recently, on like June 1st or something. They released it.
Oh yeah, there was a was it a remake of was it a remaster or remake of We Love Katamari or was it the first one?
Katamari Reroll
Oh,
Royal
interesting.
Revelry.
I didn't know
Yeah.
about that. Yeah, where are the Katamari games?
We
They're
Love
they
was
did not
like the
exist in the
third one, I
PS4 era,
think?
did they?
Like
I don't think so.
One just came out on the PC, maybe about a month or two ago.
Okay.
Well,
We
that's what
had
Glitch is talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
you had Katamari Dynasty Reroll, and now we have We Love Katamari Reroll. I have not when I first like downloaded like the Katamari game on my Switch, I would not put it down. I love it, and I find the Space King very obnoxious.
Oh, the King of All Cosmos? Yeah.
Yeah, he's so obnoxious. Who the
What
heck
happened?
is
I got
thinking
drunk
about
last night and
Uber?
fucked up the stars.
Yeah.
Deal with it, son.
Yeah, in We Love Katamari.
Literally, that's the plot of the
He
first
is-
game. That's literally the
yeah.
plot of the first game. He got drunk and completely messed up all the stars.
He's funny in the first one in Damashi, but in We Love Katamari, he's like really out there.
Yeah.
They turned up the volume on the comedy on that one.
Wait, how did Okay, I need to play this game now to see how turned up he gets, because he is already
Oh my god.
Oh, glitch! If you're talking about just playing normal reroll, yeah, no, that's baseline. That's him at like a 2. Like,
Why do I
There's
feel like
another
the King of the
game-
Cosmos needs to meet the Mandervilles?
Oh my god.
Oh my
the
god.
king of all cosmos.
I feel like
and
it's the same
Goblin
energy.
get along so well.
There's a game that I'm looking forward to. And the release date supposedly is Q4 of 2024.
Ah,
Okay.
It is a game by Final Fantasy XIV's lovely Larry Czar.
interesting.
And it's called Not Only 9. It's a narrative RPG that you like play as a cat who's trying to
Okay.
is going through the afterlife to save their human.
You had me at play as a cat.
Right.
Downloaded straight day one.
it's so
Like,
good.
Yep.
Right. Yep. But got straight
That's
day one. Yep.
got the trophy for meowing 500 times or whatever it was
That's a
within
trophy?
an hour.
Oh my
Like,
god.
Yes. Yes, it is.
It's not-
What
of course
the
Of course it would be.
I don't think it's actually
Of course it
500, but it's meowing a buttload of times.
Tell me you
It's
can
not
just like rubber
100
band the
times.
controller, please.
Oh, it's just tap a button. So like
Oh,
and you're like a stealthy cat, and my cat's just like meow, 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 meow.
I actually got that achievement.
okay, that's a
in the
lot better
middle
than
of
dodging
the-
200 lightning bolts.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you can just mash it while you move.
And no.
Yeah, you can just mash meow while you move, and as it comes off cooldown, you'll do it.
I'm looking forward to the new Yakuza games, or Like a Dragon or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
that have been like announced. Because I'm excited because Kason is going to be a part of the what are they, hostesses or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Like it's a really big VTuber that like entered a contest to be
Gotcha.
part of the hostesses in the game, and it's like her dream to like be in there, and she actually achieved it, and I'm so happy for her for that. Because like you hardly ever see people like living their dream like that, and I was
Yeah.
like she
Yeah.
like she loves Yakuza, she legitimately does, and I'm so happy.
It's
To
one of my
play.
favorite franchises.
Mhm.
I'm starting to I just started playing Yakuza, and
Didn't
I-
you start with Like a Dragon?
I started with Like a Dragon. I didn't finish it Like a Dragon. I still need to get back to that.
Hey guys,
But then I started playing
Yeah.
Zero.
I need just a few minutes and I'll be right back. But if you guys want to keep talking, go for it. I'll
Okay.
leave it recording. I'll be right back.
Oh,
All right.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay.
by the way, speaking of upcoming games and remakes, how am I only just now becoming aware there's a Metal Slug XCOM-esque game coming out this year?
What?
Mhm.
I
Sick.
don't know.
Oh, also
Metal
upcoming
Slug
games.
Tactics.
Ooh, that sounds good. A tactical game.
Oh,
It's,
also,
it's an
speaking of Persona,
XCOM-like game, yeah.
speaking
Sick,
of
yeah.
speaking of Persona
I must
and
see
that,
that.
we're getting a Persona Tactics game.
Yeah.
That is
Yep.
true. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yup.
I'm still waiting
Persona,
on
Persona will
to
not
come out.
stop until it has been every genre of video game.
Yep.
We've had
Like,
dancing, we've had fighting, we've had basically a visual novel.
I was gonna say that when Rika
Yeah.
was talking about like it seems like there's always a Persona game coming out.
yeah.
But when I was trying to get when I was waiting for Persona 5 to come out, they released every single game around Persona 5 except for Persona 5. 'Cause they
Yeah.
had Persona 4 Golden, they had Strikers, they had Persona 5 Strikers, but no Persona 5 in the middle. That was so
Yeah.
irritating.
Oh yeah, you're talking from the PC
Or,
perspective. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that would be the worst.
It was so
Speaking
annoying.
of upcoming games, Silk Song, when are you coming out? Damn it! When?
Also-
Oh my god.
Silk Song, that
Silk Song.
game's already out. What are you talking about?
Wait, Silk Song's out?
Yeah, totally.
Also, how could we possibly forget City Skylines 2 looks dope as hell too.
Oh,
I
yes.
haven't looked since they did the announce trailer.
It looks amazing. I cannot wait to play that.
We have Space Marine 2 coming out, which should be
Silk Song's
fun.
not out
Yes.
If we're
So-
going as far out as 24, like Glitchy was talking about, new flight sim.
Is that a
True.
separate game?
Yeah, it's a separate game.
Why?
They're building on
Big
the
engine, aren't they?
Just upgrade the original one.
Oh,
It's only been like 3 years. Why is there a new one? Anyway,
It's
It is
new, just like there's a just.
Just like there's a new Madden.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think I'm going to probably set off half of the people on this podcast. Never mind, however many of you listening. Flight
Trigger
Sim
warning.
2020 was the last Flight Sim, the same way Windows 10 was the last Windows.
yep.
Okay,
Gotcha.
I'm going to grab the
I feel
chonkla.
ya.
That makes me sad though.
The chonkla is going to be smacked upon your face soon.
Oh
Oh.
my god.
Nora, by the way, there's a game that I really want to play. 'Cause
What?
It's cute. It's called Micah and the Witch's Mountain, where you're like a little witch and you deliver things.
So it's Kiki's Delivery Service.
Yeah, about to say it's
Yeah.
Kiki's.
Yeah.
It is very Kiki's Delivery Service. It's actually, I think it's inspired by Kiki's Delivery Service, and it's looks freaking adorable.
Speaking of witchy games, Glitch,
Yeah.
whatever happened to Little Witch in the Woods?
It's still getting patches.
Oh,
Yeah, actually, one of the beta ones
feel
just came
like
out
it-
today.
kind of dropped off the face of the earth.
Like
What game?
Little Witch in the Woods.
Yeah,
It's so cute.
it's so cute.
I love the shit out of it.
So cute. Yeah.
Like, if anybody who hasn't played it's still in its alpha stages, I think. Or what was it? Is it an alpha stage?
So, Low Witch in the Woods is a functional beta early release on Greenlight.
Yeah, it's so fun. I love it.
Speaking of a game we haven't talked about yet, that's also a beta game. What's up with BattleBit Theater? Have you guys been seeing
Oh
that?
yeah,
I keep
mentioned
hearing
that
about it, but I don't know anything about it.
BattleBit
I've
seen
Remastered. I think
nothing
it was
about
called.
it.
I think it's another one of those Darkest Dungeon games for me where I keep hearing about it. I keep hearing people get hyped about it. I'm interested in it a little bit.
I'm
But
sorry,
nobody ever explains what it actually is.
not BattleBit Theater. That's the one that's made by the Behemoth, the guys that make Castle Crashers and stuff. I mean, BattleBit Remastered, BattleBit something. But basically, it's Battlefield with all the features that Battlefield normally has in it. It looks like Roblox basically, but it plays like Battlefield.
What
And
the
right now
hell?
and it's on Steam. It's $15, and right now there's more people playing that game than the last 3 versions of Battlefield combined on Steam.
That's funny as hell.
Yeah.
It is called BattleBit Remastered. You are
Thank
correct.
you. Yep, made by 3 people.
You posted it earlier today,
Yep.
and I had to scroll back through the text to see it.
Yep. So that's kind of a funny story. It's got all the stuff in it that people like about Battlefield that Battlefield doesn't do anymore. And it's got super basic graphics, but it's basically Battlefield when you play it, vehicles and all that stuff. So yeah, I thought that was just a feel-good story for the week and something that's kind of taking off in a game I'm not playing yet, but I will. I get paid on Monday because I will be buying like 5 copies to give to my kids and get in there.
I need to pick up.
About Little Witch in the Woods. They're getting regular updates on.
Well, yeah, it's Greenlight, like early access. They're gonna be.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I think that it is definitely a game that somebody should check out if you love like games that you gather stuff and craft stuff. It has like that old school kind of like pixely feel.
Love
It
it.
has like really pretty art too. It's very cottagecore feel to me,
Yes.
and I love the shit out of it.
Yes.
It is
Alright.
so cute.
Glitchy, you should play Witch in the 100 Night.
What?
Witch and the 100 Night.
I never heard of that one.
It is a, like top-down kind of isometric-y action adventure-y game where you're this little cute demon thing summoned by a witch. She's the swamp witch. She can't leave the swamp. She wants to kill every other witch so that she can make the swamp everywhere.
I'm debating on.
And it's by like the same writers and everything. It's as like Disgaea.
I'm doing.
So it's got that kind of humor, and it's so cute. And the dude talks through your controller. The dude talks through like your little knight does stuff like "Oh cute, oh cute," and it comes through the PS4 controller speaker. It's the best thing ever. Oh my god, it's so cute.
All right, y'all. I need your opinion because I've been looking at the Steam sales, and goddamn, there's one game that's like that's 90% off that I've had my eye on for a while.
So,
A Tales of Berseria.
good game.
It is $5.
Good game.
It's $5 right
Hey guys,
now.
back.
Good game.
Buy it right
What's
now.
up?
Hey.
Buy it right now.
So what are we
Should I
talking
buy
about?
it right now?
Tales of Berseria.
Yeah,
Oh,
good game.
Berseria. Yeah. Oh,
Any
Tales.
game.
Yeah, this-
Oh gosh, yeah.
Literally
Berseria is $5
any
on Steam
Tales
right
game.
now.
I just got Arise on PS4.
Aha.
I would say
Speaking
literally,
of games we
literally
don't
any
know,
Tales game is worth.
But by the way, speaking of, sorry, Jess, for 2024 games though, just looking at what we have announced so far,
yeah.
we have Homeworld 3 in February.
Sick.
All
We
right.
have Star Wars Outlaws, which is supposed to be an
Oh,
actual
yes.
open
That-
world adventure.
Yes.
You haven't even talked about that at all.
That's
so late.
something I meant to bring up.
Thor's answer to Starfield, I am here for it.
Now, here's the weird one that's got me confused now.
I think it's like a Red Dead Redemption Star
Is
Wars.
I'm
Lightyear,
here for it.
Lightyear Frontier. Has anyone heard of this game?
No.
No.
So
I'm
looking
thinking
at
of
what
Lightyear kind of thing.
Lightyear.
So looking at what few promo pieces are available, it makes me think of the mech short from the first season of Love, Death, and Robots with the mech farmers and their mechs fighting the pretty much Zerg.
Mhm.
That's what
Yeah.
it makes me think of, honestly, looking at the promo material so far. I have no idea that's what it is, but if it is, I am here for it.
Are we talking like To Infinity Beyond Lightyear, or?
No, it's
No,
literally the promo material is literally a man working his farm in a mech suit armed with giant cannons.
Oh, fun.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
But then we have Frostpunk 2.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Frostpunk is a good game.
And
Two.
Frostpunk is, to me, that was my emotional damage of the game before I
That
started,
game
before I came back to
Yes,
14.
that game, oh
Frostpunk
my god.
is emotional damage the game.
Have you ever wanted to do the trolley problem in a video game? Would you like
Yeah.
to?
Yeah.
Frostpunk is for you.
There's three others that have been going, what? So we have one, apparently a new Luigi's Mansion game coming out.
Yeah.
It's called Dark Moon.
That's the remake
That's
of number
actually
2.
the DS remake.
That's remake of number 2? Okay,
Yeah.
my bad. We then apparently have an untitled Princess Peach game project.
Yes.
Yes, I'm excited about that.
Peaches,
Cool.
peaches,
Yeah.
peaches, peaches.
And
They-
now,
they
I don't
teased
know
that on
at
the direct.
all how to feel about this last one.
But-
They are re-releasing Multiverses in 2024.
Multiverses.
Why?
Why did they pull that game out in the first
Why
place?
did they even pull it in the first place? Yeah.
Again, I don't know how to feel about that.
Wait, it got pulled?
I have zero plans
I
to
just got an
pre-order or
update for it,
re-release.
like yesterday.
Yeah, if you already
So
own
if
it,
you
have
already own it,
Can't get
you
it
have
anymore.
it, and you get updates. You cannot buy new copies of it,
Wow.
but
Yeah.
supposedly they're re-releasing it in 2024 for PC, PS5, and Xbox X.
Wasn't it like just a nominee for like the Game Awards?
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
We talked about
Yeah.
it too, like a few episodes
Yeah.
ago. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All I have to say
Yep.
is remaster Deadpool, you fucking cowards.
They don't
They
even
can't
know
even
that's
sell it anymore.
Yeah, Deadpool's
I
dead.
know.
Deadpool's dead.
They need to get the license back. So, 'cause
No.
The problem is they can't because Disney owns it now.
Yep.
And the same reason we're not going to get Simpsons or X-Men Arcade re-released ever. Because
Oh.
Disney owns them.
Fucking
Yep,
Disney.
and Disney's doing so great. Have you guys been seeing
Yeah.
their stock lately? Oof.
I'm not even touching that.
I mean,
Oof.
well,
Yeah,
I mean, considering the people who made the games that would need to buy the license back are Konami, I mean, it's not happening. Like,
Not unless it gets auctioned off, yeah.
Speaking
Yeah.
of Konami, there's the Metal Gear Solid 3 like remaster remake
Oh,
coming
yep.
out. Like,
and they're going to scrub every
It's
mention
a whole.
of Kojima
It's a
from
whole trilogy, right? All three of them. The
it.
first three.
They're starting with 3.
they're starting with 3. Yeah.
Okay.
They intend.
There's
I think they intend to do like the Yakuza remastered thing, where they'll do all 3 of them, and just release them in chunks. You can buy them in advance as like a package, like the Classics collection or whatever. But
I see.
Shout out to Young. Yeah, I don't know if you guys watch his YouTube channel. He does video game news, but he's the voice of the main character in Yakuza in the next one.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
That's cool.
I'm sorry, someone let John Carpenter loose in a video game studio?
John Carpenter of Mars.
No, John Carpenter.
That's what I
as
thought.
John Carter. That's John Carter.
John
Carter.
Carpenter,
Oh, John
as in
Carter,
the
yeah.
famous
Halloween
zombie
guy.
movie director.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Apparently, he was let loose in a video game studio to make a zombie video game.
Whoa.
Oh, no.
And all I know is it's called Toxic Commando. I can't find anything about it beyond the fact that apparently John Carpenter was brought in to help create the world.
Yeah, people like to say they're kind of over zombie games now. I'm not. Give me a good one.
Did you say Toxic Commando?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's called apparently.
What, the Trauma series?
No, all it says
that's
is
Toxic Crusader.
That's right.
all it
The
says
Toxic
is
Crusader?
John Carpenter's Toxic Commando.
Okay, I bet
From the
it better
mind
be
of John Carpenter.
entirely- It better be
Hey,
entirely set up.
By the way, there's a game that you need to play.
Oh.
I'm not sure if you like roguelites, but this is more a mood for you. There's a game called Have a Nice Death, where you play as Death, trying to put his employees back in order.
I've seen streams of that.
It looks really cool.
Shout out to Grim Fandango.
Oh my God.
Shout out to Tim
Yeah.
Schafer in general.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Let's see, Grim Fandango.
Full Throttle is still my favorite. I
Oh,
that game.
yes.
I was about to get Mark Hamill's the villain in Full Throttle. It's fucking
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Full
It's
Throttle
so-
is something I discovered when I was 8
Monkey
years old
Island.
and just played it nonstop on my
Yeah.
dad's PC. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get I think Day of the Tentacle is on sale on PSN right now for like $4.
Another WTF
It
game.
never gets old. Yeah.
It's a
You know what
classic.
game
But
I
they
really-
put it on PS4 and I think it's like $4 right now, like $3.75 or something. So I'm gonna be picking that up.
Fair.
Here's a game that I want to play with Nora and Misty, and it's called Flustercluck.
Yes,
Oh my god.
I've heard of this.
I like
I
it.
don't know
based on
anything
its name
about it,
alone.
but I've heard of it.
Which one?
I like it based on its name alone. Oh,
Flustercluck.
yeah.
I think I've heard that one. It's like, because I know Cluster Truck. My kids play that.
No.
Oh, ah. Is that the one where you're jumping on top of trucks or something?
Yep.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
basically like
I,
Subway Surf, like
Like-
physics and trucks.
I've never actually played that game or
It's fun.
heard of that game, but I was watching somebody do a top 10 list of like something that happened in video games, and the in between footage was that.
Yeah.
And
It's fun.
I never. You didn't say the name. There was like nothing about it, and you said the name of the game, and my kids play it. I'm like, oh my god, this has to be that thing.
Yep. Yeah, it's fun. It's a good drinking game. It's a good party game.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, like you jump, you hit the sign, you don't make it to the next truck. One of
Yep.
the trucks falls off a ledge. Like, makes sense.
You know, when you say Toxic Commando, my first thought was he's either got poison powers or he's just a dick to everybody.
Right.
I mean, it's John Carpenter. It could be either.
Commando.
I'm just going to pose like for those who
I'm absolutely horrified by the developer's description of Flustercluck, by the way.
Oh.
this is stupid. This is
I'll let Glitch read her thing, then I'll read this.
How about, oh yeah, go ahead.
What is it, Glitch?
I posted the trailer to Flustercluck.
Okay, so here, I'm gonna read the official listing for this game from the developers. Ready?
Okay.
Listen, you can't beat this game. We can't beat this game. Dial the AI up to maximum and prepare to cry like a little girl. You think this is some little cartoony romp for kids? Nope. Flustercluck may look like and sound kitty, but it's a wolf in sheep's clothing, because the truth is that Flustercluck might be way too hard. For you, for us, for everyone. You want quick and easy progression with cool cutscenes? Sorry, you get none! You want on-screen tips, tricks, and hints? Oops, we forgot to put that stuff in. You want a nice, forgiving game full of pretty pictures? Something that fills you with a sense of false accomplishment, like when you get that soccer trophy for doing nothing? Go play something else, poser boy. You want an actual challenge? Try Flustercluck. And if you somehow manage to complete this game, please call us.
This is a real game.
Take my
This is a
money.
real
Yes.
game.
Wow.
Take my money.
That sounds like something.
It's
that sounds like-
$10. It's $10.
Yep.
I was going to say that sounds like something that the Try Me Vid Boy Bungie of yesteryear would have written
Yes.
about like the
It's
challenge
like-
maps, like the Vid Boy challenges that they would put out for marathon.
Yes.
Hey,
Apparently,
suck
you
it,
need
Vid
to.
Boys. We can't even clear this. Go.
At the very
Apparently,
least,
like,
this will be in a humble bundle.
It almost
yeah.
sounded
It
like
all-
the description that AVGN came up with when he did a fake trailer for Big Rigs.
Oh my
Oh
god.
yes.
That was amazing.
Yes.
Over the
Big
road,
road-
under the
big rig,
road. Who
over-
knows?
Over the road trucking.
Oh my god.
Over the road trucking.
He's like,
'Cause,
warp-
yeah, we totally truck under the road all the time.
Over the road, under the road. Who knows? And then he's like warp speed, drive, velocity, speed, going
Apparently-
hyperspace, backwards.
Supposedly all the things on the map are ingredients you make in the chickenizer to make chickens.
How about those front mission remakes? Have you guys seen those?
Never heard of that.
Nope.
Yes, I saw about the
I
remake. I'm more excited
I
about it.
need to play them.
There's a little article on Azure Net about it. The next one that's coming out, and then 2 is in the works right now.
Front Mission is a very fun game series.
Yeah,
I just remember
I-
seeing it in like old Japanese magazines in like the 90s when it was only on the Famicom, and I was like, I want to
yeah.
play that.
yeah.
And the first like what was it? 2 didn't even come out here.
Yeah, I only
I
saw
have,
it from
I
Mitsu.
think, Evolved on the Xbox 360.
The last
Yeah,
one that came out.
The first one that I think the first one that came out was Front Mission 3. on
3
the
came out on PS1.
right?
Yep, and then
Yeah.
1 was re-released on DS here. And
Oh
then-
yeah, you know what? That's right.
Yeah, and 4 came out on PS2 here, and 5 it wasn't released here. It was on PS2, but it wasn't released here. And then they had another DS one with a special version of that DS one. They were both in Japan. And then the very, very, very last one that came out was a game called Left Alive. That's technically a front mission game. And
weird. I didn't
yeah,
even know
and
about that.
it's super cheap because I think a month or 2 in, it was already down to like $20. So
Yeah,
it hit pretty hard. A lot of people didn't like it.
yeah.
But
That
they were
first
like,
one we got over here, you said that was 3 on the PS1. That
Yes.
was the first
Oh, no.
3D polygon one because the first 2 were like
Yes.
sprites because they were on the Famicom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but
You
they're
know-
fun, strategy RPGs. Like tactic style,
Mhm.
but a little bit more in depth with like mech parts and things, and but not the stories are not bad. It's kind of got a continuing story, but you don't also have to play each one. But with
Yeah,
the last one not doing so well, I think a lot of it was because they just forgone like the mechs mostly. They were like, you're doing a lot of on foot like Metal Gear Solid type gameplay in a game that was very much not Metal Gear Solid, and then trying to avoid the mechs, and then the story was just like, and then like a lot of people didn't like Left Alive, but now they're going back to what worked and then doing the 2D 3D thing as well with that, just like with the super anticipated Dragon Quest 3 remake. It looks amazing. 2D 3D
I'm
remake for
pumped
that.
about that.
Super
What, really?
hyped about that. Yeah, Dragon Quest 3 is getting a remake.
I'm looking at that.
It looks amazing already.
Actually,
Yeah.
going back to Front Mission for a second,
Sure,
you know what
sure.
other classic mecha game is supposedly getting a remaster?
I have a
Heavy
feeling
Gear.
I forgot which one.
Heavy Gear.
Oh,
Heavy Gear. Okay.
There's a fan project to remaster the original 2 games.
Ooh.
I'd love to see Metal Gear come back, or not Metal Gear.
Well, yeah, I'd love to
it's
see
called
Metal Gear come back
Chaos.
too.
Metal. What was it called? The second one was called Metal Chaos Anubis. It was Battle Clash. Was the first game.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there's a name I haven't heard in ages.
I haven't heard of that in
They
a long
were
time. but I know.
Super Nintendo Super
Yep.
Scope games.
Long time ago. Yep.
We're all in on like VR and mocap and stuff.
What about Steel Battalion?
Oh my
Steel
God.
Battalion.
Oh my god! the $600 controller. Yeah.
Yeah. Then they tried to make it come back on the 360 with Kinect, and
They
it was
did.
horrible. Oh, it was unplayable.
I remember playing one of those demos at a Best Buy for the Kinect version of that.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
It's extremely bad. I think there was I don't know if AVGN did a video or not, but somebody did a really funny review of it online. I just can't remember who. It's basically unplayable. Like, it's almost completely impossible to get the trophies from, or anything, or the achievements.
Because like the first game was really good if you had like the $600.
The entire
battle
setup,
version.
yeah, and then like an
Yeah.
entire room to set it all up in.
It's all just heavy
Yeah.
as shit.
This
Wow.
Dragon
Crazy,
Quest
yeah.
3 remake looks freaking amazing.
I know,
Yes.
I love that
Take my money.
style. See, that's
Take
what
my
they're
money.
doing with Star Ocean 2. If you look up the Star Ocean 2, the
Yeah.
new one, the new Star Ocean 2 has that. They're also doing that style with what was it? I wish they would have done that with Pixel Remaster. That would have been really nice.
I wish they would
awesome.
have done it when they did the Secret of Mana re-release.
Oh my god, I
ago.
know. Yeah,
Instead of making like full 3D.
full
like,
3D. Yeah, It's still okay, but I mean,
it's still good. Like I actually
they did that
really
with
enjoyed
Adventures and Secret.
Yeah.
But Adventures didn't even get like a physical copy.
I feel.
Yeah, and then they made Trials into like a
A
third-person
full-on
action game.
remake, and it launched the same month as FF7 remake, and it's like, what are you guys doing? You're killing it.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I've only played Trials because it's free on PlayStation Plus Extra.
Oh,
Like,
right.
A game that I really want to have like a remake / actual English port, and not just a fan-made English port. I really want to play Earthbound 3.
Oh, heck yeah.
Oh,
You and everyone else, man.
Yeah, you and everybody else.
you and Alice could probably go on for like 10 years about that.
Don't they sell Mother 3 like repro carts? You can
yeah,
get?
they do.
Yeah.
With the
They
English
do,
version.
but it's.
I know it's not
again,
official, but
but
With the Game Boy
you can
Advance.
play it.
you can play it, but it's.
Yeah.
I've seen people play it. Like back when I was in college, a couple of my friends played it, and it was fun. But it really didn't have that finished, polished look.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know. The last patch that the Mother 3 team released was really good.
See, the
Granted,
last
it's
time I
still
saw
a GBA
someone
game.
play it was years and years ago.
Oh, their finished patch was years and years ago, but they also had like partial. Like for a while, they were almost using machine translation for part of it just to get it as playable. They're like, we've got this all translated. We've got an actual person who can read and translate Japanese, and somebody who actually does this for a living who can translate it into make the jokes work in English. And
Interesting.
they had all that, but like, it was like the first third of the game was good and polished, and like the last 2/3 were kind of eh. But by the end, completely full translation, full everything. It's fucking awesome.
Man.
All I have to say is Porky is the strangest character that I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Alright, so not necessarily video games, but for those of us who enjoy the tabletop scene, what do people think about, for those of us who know about it, what do people think about the new version of Epic 40K?
I don't know about it.
Ooh.
I don't
First, I
know
don't
about
what
it.
that is, though.
Which one?
What they're calling, like, the new Heresy Ward Epic Scale.
For
What they-
tabletop?
Yeah, what
For
they call it
40K.
again?
Because when you say 40K, all I can think of is Bolt Gun.
No, it's
Yeah, I think it's
Legion Imperialis, that's what they call it, Legion Imperialis. It's literally just Epic 40K in the Horus Heresy.
Bolters don't kill people. Heresy kills people.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
like, recently there's been like this whole revival of classic tabletop strategy. It's kind of bizarre. Like Epic 40K has come back. We have, I said like the video game is coming back also, but we also have the tabletop version of Heavy Gear coming back.
Space
To be
Marine
honest,
2.
though,
We have the strategy version
Yeah,
of
that's-
Vampires the Masquerade is getting a repub.
Yeah, Space Marine 2 looks really good.
To be fair, though, Vampire the Masquerade Paradox got us all ready for it, and then that game fell apart. So I think people were like hungry for that, and now they're looking for it. And on top of all that, with the tabletop thing, Dungeons and Dragons has been fucking up, and it's driving people to other things.
I got a whole thing we did at Balticon about that I don't have enough time on this podcast to go through.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
we need to have
That's already like a 4-hour panel.
So that's just not me. Like that's not me just like saying stuff. Like the other competition, like all their closest ones, they've sold out of their year's worth of stuff in like the first
PaizoCon
month.
sold out completely.
Yeah. So everything that's not D&D has sold out for the year because D&D dropped the ball so bad.
My
But then,
goodness.
Here's the one that's really driving me nuts. That's somehow making a comeback, supposedly next year from Wayland doing repubs. Crimson Skies, the tabletop.
Wow.
Like the video game.
Not the tactics one, the full-on strategy game with airship fleets.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that what the
had
Xbox game was based on? Originally?
So the video games are actually based on the books.
Okay.
The old books, which the tabletop was made by the same company, which is FASA, which no longer even exists. If you guys can be started on FASA, we'll be here till midnight.
Yeah,
Well,
Rip Fasta,
I
yeah.
don't think that.
I mean, considering it's
No, I mean Reika's midnight. I can go on for hours about that. You have been, and Nora has actually been in the room when me, John, Vin, Mark, the whole Maplewood gang would get on FASA. You've been in the room for that. You've walked out of the room. But so Mark, by the way, Mark, if you ever see this, this means your Hollywood militia collection actually means something again. There's a 80-year-old man who I know, lovely man, goes by Mark. I don't know what his actual name is. If that's actually his name or not. He literally has a still all original pewter and lead FASA Hollywood militia fleet.
Wow.
Oh shit.
And every time I see him bring that thing out, I'm like, dude, literally no one here besides me knows what that is.
Yeah. They literally don't make them like that anymore.
Wow.
But I mean, like, seriously, if we pulled Azure right now, how many people even know what Crimson Skies is, you think?
Right.
Besides the Xbox game, like very few.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was the game that I knew of, so...
And that was the 5th game, technically.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Because there were strategy games before that. I've never actually seen a copy of any of them on any modern platform.
Jeez.
Not even a port.
The only thing that I can think of when you mention tabletop games like Warhammer is corn.
Yeah, because you're obsessed with the Blood God, we know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Corn.
Well,
She's just going to be over there sing corn in the background for the next 2 hours.
Yeah, I know. It's my fault for getting her a first edition Bloodthirster.
If you don't give her her brain back, she's just gonna keep floating out there saying, "Do what now?
Do what now?
Do what now?"
yeah, see? Point proven.
Yep.
Alright, you guys, we're at the hour and 44-minute mark, so maybe we want to tie up, or anybody have anything else they want to bring up here?
Just because I've got to get out once, and Nora's going to murder me later for this.
Okay.
Oh no.
Distant Worlds and Stellaris. The new X packs have been so much fun.
Okay.
So,
Misty, get out of my freaking head, because in the back of my mind this whole time, like I was like, and we gotta like just mention Stellaris. That game is ridiculous.
Hang on, I need to make one complaint about Stellaris leaders, the new leader system.
What's up?
If you are trying to play long, you will be screwed. You need to play tall, which I think is the dumbest thing that they've destroyed the entire Puralist system.
Yes,
Unrelated.
I would agree, but also if you don't give a fuck, like you can still do it though.
They've also broken sector automation again after they finally fixed it. Which
I saw they added a bunch of stuff. I haven't really messed with it, so yeah, I like that sounds about right.
Vanilla, the sector automation where we automate your worlds is broken again. It doesn't properly assign building views.
Oh,
yeah, I never really
that
messed
just
with that
sounds
shit.
annoying.
Why
It
do
is.
we keep breaking stuff? Also, to those who play Genshin Impact, Klee is back, and so is Eula.
Nice.
But so, for those of us who like Stellaris, if you want something of the same insane scale of Stellaris, but an actual functional automated assistance tool, Distant Worlds 2, please.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I would say trying to get into Stellaris, yes, there's a lot going on. It's very busy. Even if you've been playing it for years, it's very busy.
Oh yeah.
But if you can ever just wrap your head around like some of the basic stuff, so you can get into the more advanced stuff, it's well worth it. Because
the modding community makes it worth
sweet
it.
lord. That game is just but this whole time we've been talking, I was like, I kind of want to mention Stellaris. So I'm glad you did, Misty, because that game. It's not going anywhere.
That's definitely worth mentioning.
Shout out to Captain X3 and team for their amazing work on the new NSC crossplay mods.
Yeah, and the modding community, I can't even get into that. That's a whole other thing. But the game itself, is chef's kiss. Yep.
Yeah, yes. The game is, and again, so for those of you who want something that's going to be slightly less intense on your PC, still the same grand scale, and actually even crazier than Stellaris, honestly, Distant Worlds is a full-on immersion strategy RTS, where you can simulate galaxies up to 100,000 stars. It's insane.
RTS?
Real-time strategy.
Like Command and Conquer and StarCraft and stuff.
So
I heard what's an Arceus, and I'm like the Pokemon god.
But so, yeah, just the insanity level, though, of the automation in Distant Worlds.
Oh my
The
god.
difference is that the original Distant Worlds came out over 20 years ago now.
Yeah.
And they've really not done much to change the automation AI. I can literally turn this on while I'm at work, look away for an hour, turn back, and all my governors have kept everything running.
That's awesome.
Because
Final
the
Fantasy 12 you can do that. with
So the
damage system.
entire civilian economy system alone is 100% automated, and you can just direct
Oh.
it.
Gosh, you know
You
what?
can set up AIs to manage your research trees. You can literally set the entire empire to be automated, and all you do is just click approve or disapprove of certain actions.
Making me want to play. I have the game. I haven't played it
It was
yet.
like the
Which game?
Just Stellaris.
Yeah.
I know a little bit about it from
Definitely
just
play it with us, Reika.
seeing stuff, but I
So, Rick, if you want to play Stellaris, play at least one vanilla game first, just
Yeah.
to understand the mechanics of the game.
right.
And then once you understand that, me, Nora, and another friend have been building a common mod stack that we can then share around and all play with.
Interesting.
At
Yeah,
some
I
point, we
mean-
need to actually play a game with that.
Wait,
So I
you have to be
I
online
have-
at the same time, or
Invite, please.
Yeah,
Invite,
to
please.
play.
Okay.
So I've tested it now officially in a LAN playthrough between two of my machines,
Uh-huh.
and it's stable. I have not tested on an internet match yet.
Interesting.
And
Okay.
actually another good way to learn now is like they've added co-op to it. So if you
Yep.
wanted to play with like one of us while we did like the heavy
Mhm.
lifting, and you just wanted to like mess with the research or like
Oh,
building
neat.
stuff on planets,
I
you
would
just like
love-
learn like one part at a time. You could do that too.
Okay.
This is a
Yeah,
collab
honestly,
stream.
maybe
I
we
would
should
love.
do that.
Yeah, I'm not
I
sure.
would love
like,
to do a collab stream of that.
I
By
have
the
the
way,
game,
we get like
but-
you, me, Imp, Glitch,
Yeah.
Choose, maybe Reika.
I'm always
I
down
do
for
a
that, Reika.
giant
I
co-op
think
match.
4. I think 4 has Stellaris.
Yeah, for me,
So
it's-
we need people who have the PC version
it's,
specifically.
I have
Yeah,
a PC.
no, 4
I have
is
the
on
PC.
PC.
Yeah, I have the PC version. I got it through some bundle like a while ago. For me though, like the biggest challenge is like not a single thing in the game, not even my PC. It's finding the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like the
Yeah.
hardest challenge.
Yeah.
But I would love to if I can find the time. Although this conversation did give me one thing I want to bring up here before we close out this episode. There is a type of a style of game, and we all know that the Final Fantasy series has tried many types of games. There's card games, there's racing Final Fantasy games, there's all sorts of Final Fantasy games. But there's a genre that FF has not done. And I'm not going to say something as broad as like a shooter. There's a genre that would fit well as far as strategy and RPG even. There has not been an FF RTS. Can you guys imagine what that would be like?
oh my god.
All I
Sort
can
of.
think of now is the time someone modded Warcraft 3 Risk game to be Final Fantasy 14 Risk.
Oh my god.
I mean,
Oh, I just-
it could be
that's awesome.
really, really neat. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
if it is 14 based, then imagine like the Maelstrom is your navy,
Yeah.
etc. Like just
I
all
mean-
those different factions and such,
Well, so
Yeah.
it's literally a Risk game, so like each
Yeah.
province with its own thing.
What if we had Civilization 6 but Final Fantasy 14?
There's
Okay.
probably a mod for that, honestly.
That'd be
Yeah,
interesting.
I mean, just to tie it back to the beginning of this podcast, like, I'm kind of counting the days until someone makes a Crusader Kings 3 full conversion for 16. Because,
Oh.
like,
You totally
it
could.
definitely has that same vibe going on.
Okay, yeah.
Totally could. Yeah.
Manage all your different royals and everything.
Yeah.
Like with the Civilization version of that, like it's like someone said, if you had that, you'd have like Xanarkand and like freaking Midgar right next to each other.
Right.
That'd be kind of funny. But yeah, I mean, well, see, a long time ago when I was playing Final Fantasy 12, back when it first launched in 2006, I actually had this idea back then, because there were, like we all know that, in RTSs, like one of the things you spend a lot of time is gathering energy somehow from
Yep.
whatever resource you're mining.
You must
or
construct
whatever.
additional pylons.
Yes. And exactly. And so I was thinking,
Which
like,
requires more
if there was
FPS.
an evilly spaced one, because I was playing 12 at the time, how most games will have like an elemental enemy, and
Yeah.
that's just an elemental, like just an elemental, not an elemental something,
Yeah.
just an elemental, like a floating thing that's an elemental. Well,
Yeah.
there's an extra stuff. I haven't seen, as far as I can think, I have, with my brain with FF, I have seen so many games, but I have not seen an FF game besides 12 yet that I can think of that has had a secondary elemental in it. That puts the first one to shame. If you've played 12 and you remember the Entites, there were these really super strong elemental like versions of the elementals, and like super elementals. Imagine if those were harnessed as energy in Evilise, what they could do with their airship fleets, with like N-type cannons and stuff, would be like really insane. So a friend of mine a long time ago, we were imagining like what could be done with an FFRTS and how crazy that would be. Like all the legions of Garlemald, play as a different Legatus,
Yes.
like or different judges of
basically just build
Arcades.
cruisers as
There's
fast
so
as
many
possible.
factions that could be worked with, and it would just be
FF14
really neat.
Total War. Yoshi,
Well,
can get on that.
If you know the Warhammer,
Right.
Total War Warhammer is like it's Total War with magic. So I mean, you could you could do that with FF, but please Square Enix someday.
Although, I feel like everybody would just be scrambling to build whatever the equivalent of the Terran battleship is, and just fire their Yamato or Aether cannons
Oh
at
my
everything.
goodness, yeah.
Yeah.
It could get really
Talking
crazy.
about Crimson Skies, I would totally build like the peak 2.0 Garlean airship fleet.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Imagine a ship with like cannons where when it fires, it just sends something into the void. That'd be crazy.
I'm sure Xenos has probably tried that.
It's called a
You don't
digital
have
escape.
to that Zanussi.
Kind of like Quistis's limit break from 8.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
like
Oh,
you just
Devour?
suck people into black holes. What was it called? Degenerator.
Or you could just
Degenerate people.
or you could just
Yeah.
fire
I-
dogs.
Yep.
I just loved Devour.
Renoa's dog.
Because it just cuts to like a field of flowers. It's like your regularly scheduled game has been interrupted, and then it comes back later after Quistis is eating whatever the fuck it was you were
Yep.
fighting.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh gosh, Final Fantasy VIII.
Triple Triad, let's go.
I still have not. I still haven't. Like played 8 all the way through.
Play 8 all the way through.
8 is not a game you can rush
Yeah.
at all.
And just be prepared to
Actually-
be as confused as the rest of us.
Actually, I would say 8 is the one Final Fantasy game you should rush.
Well, should you?
Nora,
Yes.
Because if you grind, it's not good, right?
there's a
Yeah.
Final Fantasy
Yeah.
14 full conversion mod for Civ 6.
Yeah, no, I
The,
think I know what you mean by that.
Let's
Everything-
go.
Every single
It's
thing in the
specifically
game
a
is
Realm
level
Reborn.
adjusted.
Ah,
Like
I
every
think I've
single
already
thing in
messed
Final
up
Fantasy
your
8 is level adjusted. It's adjusted to your party's average level.
Mm-hmm.
So the
Yeah.
best way to play the game fast is to just keep Squall dead all the time.
Keeps saying that the whole time.
Squall
my
and Quistis
God!
because
Yes.
Quistis gets her one-shot limit break.
Oh, not even that. No, you keep Squall dead because Squall's in your party the entire time. Very
You know-
rarely do you have a party that doesn't have Squall in it.
Yeah.
And so you keep him dead, and him being at level 10 while everybody else is at level 40 brings your average level way down.
So as
And
much
it
as
makes the game
I
more fun to play.
love Final Fantasy X, I don't think it needs a remake.
No.
It doesn't.
Why
doesn't.
are they remaking?
And,
What about 8, 9, 6, all those?
and
Remake
Give us a
those!
remake.
They'll
Give
get
us a
to 'em.
remake
Good
of
lord.
8. Oh my god. Gun,
You know what? Honestly, I
Gunblade
think they
and
picked
cool
Twin.
modern content. Oh.
I think they picked that one because it probably would be like one of the more straightforward ones
Yeah.
to do.
I mean,
So, and I think they'll get. I think they'll get to the other ones. I think
Actually-
didn't 8 get a remaster already? 7 and 8 already.
it got a 20th anniversary edition where the backgrounds look like crap, but
Yeah, it got a quote remaster
Yeah.
end quote where the
Yeah.
character
Yeah.
sprites went up in resolution, but the background still looked like you're playing on a PS1.
well, for the Final Fantasy
Like-
9 one, it's kind of got a background issue too, and they even apologize. They're like, well, this is the truth. We lost the original files, so they're gone now. This is the best we can
Same
do.
thing
God, no.
The Switch
Same thing happened
Switch
with,
version's not
fucking
bad
Kingdom
though
Hearts, too.
of 9.
How do they?
Oh, yeah.
lose
Yep.
the
Kingdom Hearts
files
as
to
well,
the
not
game?
Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah.
How do they lose files to the original game?
Because one, they had didn't they have like a giant office fire?
Well, I was
And it
gonna
cost them,
say they also
all their
like threw
gear?
stuff in storage back then when it was just like Sakaguchi and his bros hanging out, and then like he just like left and he was like see ya with his like sunglasses and went off into the sunset. Which by the way, that guy is really funny. The father of Final Fantasy. If you follow him, he's going by the hashtag Sakaguchi, like GUCCI Gucci.
Nice.
Yeah.
And he's playing through all of 14 now, and he just got finished with Endwalker. He's been doing it for like a couple years, off and on.
Yep.
Go
Yeah, I
Zero.
remember seeing the little
He's
clips
so
of him
funny.
and his tweets and stuff. Yeah.
Did you see the Mega 64 video where they got him into like a music video?
Yes.
Oh my
Mega-
god, that was
Mega 64.
amazing.
People sleep
I thought
on
they
Mega
were about to
64.
say
That's
They really do, yeah. Like the
Look at
DBZ
everybody.
videos. Oh my
funniest
god.
shit. They do just like it started with like dumbass cardboard costumes and shit, and then just evolved into this internet massive trend that nobody talked about. Like it was huge, but nobody talked about it.
Those guys are still going, too.
Oh, I know. Yep,
it's crazy.
They made hella connections. Because, like I said, it was big underground.
Yeah.
But it wasn't something you hear like somebody on Facebook go like, "I just watched the new Mega 64."
Well, yeah, it wasn't like Rooster Teeth or AVGN.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but they're still pretty funny. They showed up at a number of E3s and did some pretty funny stuff sometimes.
They've been guests at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
I don't know if they had a panel or whatever, but like they were there.
I believe it.
I saw them at PAX too a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, those dudes are awesome.
Alrighty.
Shout out Mega 64.
Yep.
So I think we'll go ahead and call it for this episode. I want to thank everybody who has listened this whole time. We had a nice, what has it been here? Let me check. My timer is being covered by my taskbar because Discord wants to tell me stuff.
About 2 hours.
We are currently right at the 1 hour 58 minutes mark. So nice chunky episode. Not a lot of editing. We've really been through like everything we wanted to talk about for the most part. I'm sure there's more that we could talk about easily.
I have one last thing to add to the outro.
Sure, go for it.
I'm Host Runner, and this was a podcast.
I'm Host Runner, and this was a podcast.
Oh my god. One thing I need to add, just because I promised Sebastian, since he couldn't be here tonight. Those of you who are playing Diablo 4, don't forget, we have a Discord channel in the Azure Discord. We have a clan in-game Azure Infinitum. Just go ahead, join us. Well, Season 1 is coming up pretty quick here.
Yep, July 20th.
Yep.
Get ready to start new characters, everybody.
Just give me Crusader.
I heard something about werewolves, so that's all I really know about Season 1.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, the Malignant stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know exactly what's going on. The campfire was really good. But yeah, season 1 starts July 20th.
Yeah.
Play Diablo 4.
Play Diablo 4. Come join us in Discord, in game. You know where to find us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and join us in Destiny as well. We're trying to do raids now, so come over and raid with us on Sundays in Destiny, and also Clan Nights on Tuesday. Lots of information in the Discord about that as well. And one last thing too is I wanted to say that I'm sure we have people listening that are thinking, oh, why didn't they mention this game or that game? We can't possibly mention everything at one time. I didn't even ask who here has finished Tears of the Kingdom, because that's another conversation.
Yeah,
that's a whole other conversation.
I was going to finish Tears of the Kingdom, then Diablo came out.
Yep, that's how it goes. But still,
Diablo 4.
Still, nothing will be as hilarious to me as I think it was it March in 2020, like right when the pandemic hit. It's like Animal Crossing Doom month, if you guys remember that.
Yeah.
That was so funny.
Well, it was Doom Crossing and what was the other Animal something.
So now we got like Tears of the Diablo.
It was
month.
It was crazy because they both had their release on the same day.
Oh, the happiest thing in the world, and then like the most craziest, like violent thing.
There's some videos of Isabel and Doomslayer.
Yeah.
I was about to say, like, if you went to your local GameStop that night to pick up your physical copy, you saw the most like completely wide gap.
Oh yeah,
gamers ever.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of kids and weebs, and on the other side, it's a whole bunch of Call of Duty bros and edgelords.
Well, yeah, maybe generally, yeah. Oh my gosh. Alrighty, guys. Thanks for listening to this episode of the podcast. We had a great time talking about lots of stuff we're playing, as well as awesome stuff that's coming out here in the future. Since it's impossible to cover everything we want to talk about in one show, maybe the next episode we'll do something similar as well. We'll keep talking about games. We would love it if those listening would comment as well, and just kind of give us like some of your opinions on maybe some of the stuff we talked about. We want to hear from you. We don't currently, we have not seen a lot of comments. We do have some diehards that like to listen to the podcast, or maybe go back to do an Azure Podcast marathon, catch up. But we would also love to see comments too. We want to know what you guys are thinking of our podcast episodes, how you like the show, who's your favorite host, and also games that maybe we could talk about in the next episode too. Give us some ideas. We would love to hear ideas. So thank you guys.
Retro doesn't matter.
We will see you on the next episode.
I don't listen to this crap.
And that's totally going in.